Hey, that's great to hear, Charlie. I'm really glad to hear that. KO, thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's so awesome. I'm gonna start multi-streaming tomorrow, hopefully, inshallah. All crazy yesterday. Yeah, I know. It was a time. It was a time. No, it's good to have like these bad faith debate tactics in your back pocket. But hey, what's up? How's it going, Valerie? Harris, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Appreciate you. Hey, how's it going, Kay? What's up, Harris? What happened yesterday? Oh, I was just like super sleep deprived and I was like bad faith blood sports debating everyone. No, I was just like, God, I was a real steamrolling Steve yesterday, but let's see. I do think that steamrolling people is probably good when your opponents are bad faith and refusing to answer. I thought yesterday was like a lot of fun though. But yeah, let's get the first guest on up here. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older, that you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, and Quran, or Quran, and that you have an argument which does not involve personal experience. Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, how old are you?
25.
And what religion?
Christian.
Okay. What's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience? Petus, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so we talked before, I think last time we were talking about DNA, right? And
Oh, sure.
I told you how, DNA being basically coded information, right? It's the same type of like mechanism that was used to develop telecommunications and things like that, right? Same kind of
No, not at all.
process.
No, that's not true at all. Because in telecommunications, we don't have all these like this like useless junk lying around like we do in our DNA. In telecommunications, we don't have like parasitic elements of the I don't even know what it would be in comparison. Like we don't have if we go with the coding analogy, we don't have like these parasitic lines of code like we do with DNA. So these things aren't analogous at all.
Give me 1 second.
Michael, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Cash App. Hail, Michael. Hail, 666, and a big hail, Satan. And Daniel, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Cash App. Hail, Daniel. Hail, 666, and a big hail, Satan. I appreciate it. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. Let's get a big W for Daniel and for Michael in that comment section. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older, that you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran, and that you have an argument which does not involve personal experience. And with that, we can go to the very next guest. Make sure you're dropping that follow, double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. If you want to join the community, link to the Discord's in my bio. I'd love to see you there. OM, thank you so much. What's up, Moozy? How's it going?
Shabed, you, my man.
Hey, can you speak up a bit?
I'm good, and you?
Good. How old are you?
I'm 38.
And what religion?
I don't do religion yet.
All right,
But
I'm only looking
now,
to discuss with people who believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran. If that's not you, sounds good, but I'm only looking to discuss with people who believe in the Bible, Torah, or Quran. Damn, will we get someone? Let's find out. But keep on sharing it with your friends, doing all that good stuff, dropping that follow. If you want to join the community, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. It's discord.gg/allegedly Ian. Only join if you are interested, and don't join any other circumstance. Don't join if you're not interested, and don't join if you're a minor.
Hello.
How old are you?
I don't think it matters.
It very much does matter, unfortunately. So on to the next one. Ooh, for this guest, I have a really special question.
Yo,
Hey, Keep-Top, why were you spamming W on Moshi last night after Moshi said that the age of consent should be 16?
Wait, bro. Wait 1 second. Why are you bringing that up? I wasn't even
Well,
saying.
because I'm just
I
curious why you
wasn't.
think the age of
I
consent should
wasn't
be
spamming
16.
W Moshi for that. I was
You
spamming
well,
W
you wait,
Moshi.
but your W Moshi came right after he said that, so I'm just a little bit confused. Why
Wait,
were you supporting someone who thinks
bro.
that the
My
age of
W.
consent
I
should be
was saying.
16?
Look, 1 second. What I'm saying is I wasn't saying W Moshi for that. Now, if you talk about age of consent,
Well, wait,
really,
because
there's no
you said it
objective
right
age of.
after he said that though. So were you just not listening?
Okay, and look, it doesn't like you're hopefully like a somewhat logical
Wait,
person.
you're
It
like
doesn't.
stumbling over yourself. You can't even express your justification. Why do you think the age of consent should be 16? Or
Bro,
why do you
Moshi kind of
support
cooked
people
you,
who
bro. I'm
think
not even
that the
gonna
age
lie.
of
Like,
consent should be
and I know
16?
you're mad that Moshi like kind of cooked you up the
Wait,
other
wait,
day.
and I know you're
Like I
into
said W
children, but I just need
Moshi.
your
I said W
justification for
Moshi.
why you think it's ethical for the age of consent
Look,
to be 16.
I wasn't even saying. Look, I'm not even saying I
You said it
disagree. I'm not
immediately after, so
okay.
I'm just
And
curious.
look,
Why do you think
I'm
the age
not
of
even
consent
saying
should be
I
16?
disagree. I'm not even saying that I disagree with Moshi, but I didn't say W Moshi
You
for that
don't
reason.
disagree that the age of
I
consent should be 16? You don't disagree?
wait. You said what? That I disagree. The age of consent should be 16. The
Yeah.
age of consent. So look, there is no objective. I'm not gonna get into this, but like, there's no
Wait,
objective.
wait,
There's no. So
you
look.
won't stake your
So
position on the age of
all right.
consent?
I'm not taught, bro. Ian, look, I'm not gonna go into like your little trap, right?
Oh my god, wait, you're literally into
I.
kids, dude. That's crazy. You support
Ian,
someone who
dude,
thinks that the age of consent is 16, and you literally said just now that you don't necessarily disagree that the age of
I
consent should be
wasn't even,
16.
bro. Ian, you don't understand. I wasn't even coming up here to the like, bro. Like, I genuinely came up here, bro, to laugh at why you put out that power strip, bro. And you just genuinely
I'm
just
just
come up here
curious why you
with
would
all this
support someone who
animosity,
thinks
like,
that the
bro.
age of consent
Just
should be
get over it,
16.
bro. Moshi kind of ate you up
Wait,
yesterday,
and
like,
so I'm just wait.
bro.
Do you think Moshi? Wait, and I'm
Moshi
curious. Do you think
cooked
Moshi
you,
was
bro.
eating? Do you think Moshi
Like,
was eating when he said that the age of consent should be 16? Do you think Moshi ate with that one?
okay, what do you think the age of consent should be?
I think 18 is the perfect age for it. Unlike
Okay.
you, moving on to the next one. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. You heard it here first, folks. Q-Top said that he doesn't think that there should be an age of consent. He doesn't believe in a specific age of consent. But make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. Dropping that follow as well if you never want to miss a single debate in the future. And with that, we'll move on to the very next guest. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you are. I think I already gave it. Hey, what's up? How's it going, Trev?
Hello?
Yeah. How old are you?
29.
And what religion are you?
Well, I don't really associate with a specific religion. I would
Thank you
say
so
more.
much. I'm only looking to debate people who do associate with a specific religion, so only request to join if you are 18 or older, and you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran, and you have an argument which does not involve personal experience. Oh wait, I already fucking kicked you. Yeah, listen, buddy. If you're a child and then you come back into my guest request box, you're just getting blocked. Because I'm not interested in debating children, unlike some people I know. Hey, what's up?
Hi,
How's it going?
what's up? What's good?
How old are you?
I'm 18. Is that
What
okay?
what year were you born?
Oh 06.
Okay.
06, 2006.
What's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal
So,
experience?
okay, so the fine tuning of the universe, like the laws
Gotcha.
of nature, gravity, and speed of light, you know?
Yeah. So what's the probability that these would be anything different than what they are?
Like, those things are so precise, right? It's
Yeah, but
like
what's
so
the
precisely tuned.
what's the
Yeah, you go
probability
first.
that they would be anything different than what they are?
Like, it's extremely small, right? So it's like
Yeah,
extremely
can you
fine tuning and it's
demonstrate that
more.
it's extremely small?
What do you mean by that, though?
Yeah, so nobody knows. So you're making a claim about probability that it is unlikely that they would be these exact ones, which means you're saying it's highly likely that they would be different. The problem is nobody knows what the probability is that they would be anything other than what they are, which means that we can't make the claim that it's unlikely that they are what they are because we have no idea what the probability is that they would be different, as is demonstrated by the fact that you can't even tell me what the probability that they would be different is. Nobody knows.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see. But how can the precise conditions necessary for the life exist without some intelligent like designer or something like that?
Oh, I mean, that could just be like a brute fact that this is just the laws of the universe. You could hold to like a dualism, just that life could form under basically any constants, but it would just take a different form each time. In fact, in your worldview, you literally think that God would God could give life, that God could give a mind to literally any configuration of the universe, that the world could just be an array of atoms, and that God could give minds to each of the atoms. So why would God choose this configuration over any other configuration?
Oh, wait. I'm kind of lost. Can you like repeat it again so I can
Yeah,
get it
so
more? Yeah.
because God is an immaterial mind, you think that minds don't necessarily depend on brains, which means God could have given a mind to literally just a bunch of atoms. So why did God pick this configuration where we are like people who get cancer over like a world where we're just atoms with minds?
Okay, so like if God don't exist, right? Where do our objective moral values come from? That's
Wait,
like, yeah.
are we pivoting away from fine tuning?
Is it no? Because you're saying points, right? I don't need to stuck on like that point. Or do I
Gotcha.
need to
Yeah,
stay on that
you wanna
point?
pivot to a different thing. I'll accept your surrender on the fine tuning argument. I'm just of the opinion that all morality is subjective, especially yours. Given that all your morality is going to come back to God, the subject. So, do you think that the things that God says are good, are they good because God says that they're good, or does God say that they're good because they are good? Which one happens first?
Wait, let me think. Okay, let me think about it. Wait, so what are you trying to say? I still don't get it.
Yeah,
It's
that
like,
objective morality is impossible under your worldview as well. So,
so
does the things that are good in your worldview, are they good because God likes them, or does God like them because they're good?
for me, right, I don't. There's like no known law, nature law that requires the universe to like have a particular set of life. You know?
I thought we were talking about objective morality. You're all over the place. You already got
No, because
folded on that one. You already moved on to the next argument.
move on to what argument? Can you like?
Because so the order of the conversation so far is you brought up fine tuning, then you pivoted to
Yeah.
how can you have objective morals under atheism. So you conceded the fine tuning argument. I asked you one basic question about your moral system, and now you're back to you want to talk about fine tuning. All right, well, I appreciate you coming on up. I'm just going to move on to the next guest, someone who can track, hopefully. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older, that you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran, and you have an argument which does not involve personal experience. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, doing all the rest of that good stuff, dropping that follow. If you want to support the stream, Venmo's allegedly-Ian. Cash App is just allegedly Ian. Appreciate any and all support. What's up? How's it going?
Oh, hello.
Hey, how old are you?
I'm 18 years old.
And what religion?
Christian.
And what year were you born?
June 5th, 2006.
Okay, gotcha. What's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
So my personal argument, it's something common, obviously. Like when you look outside, you see grass, plants, the sky, and all that. And I'm like, no human could possibly make something like that. So I believe that there's definitely a God.
Yeah, so when I look outside, I see like a fucking hurricane. So why would God make weather in such a way that included hurricanes?
Why would God make such? That's a great question. Well, to answer that question, so you know how hurricanes are developed, right? Like the warm, cold water and
Yeah.
the temperature and everything. Yeah. And in my personal opinion, I feel like, yeah, he made stuff like that, but he can't physically control that. Like how God makes you, and it says like he knows what you're going to do in your life and your whole personal experience.
Is God all powerful?
Is God all powerful? To answer that question, yes, he is.
Does God have the power to stop hurricanes?
No. Well, we don't know that as the answer right now because
Gotcha.
proven to us.
Okay, gotcha. Wait, so we have so let's consider, so this is the circle of all the powers that exist.
Yeah.
It's we got all the powers that exist.
Right.
Do you agree that in all the powers that exist, this is going to include the power to stop hurricanes? Do you agree?
Oh wait, repeat that again. I'm sorry.
So this is a circle that represents all powers that exist.
Yeah.
Do you agree that in all powers that exist is the power to stop hurricanes? Do you agree with that?
Sort of. Not really.
What do you mean sort of? Is stopping hurricanes a power? Is the power to stop hurricanes a power?
No, it's not. It just keeps going until it stops itself.
Does God have the power to like teleport a hurricane out of existence?
We don't know. That hasn't
Is
been-
teleporting a hurricane out of existence a power?
Again, we don't know that. That's not what you're getting.
All right. Are you just trolling? What are you doing? Do you think saying like we don't know, you're not sure if the power to stop a hurricane is a power?
No.
You have no idea if the power to stop a hurricane is a power.
You want to know what I'm truly here for?
Yeah, you're here to troll and fuck around. Moving on to the next one. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. If you want to support the stream, Venmo's allegedly dash Ian. Cash App is just allegedly Ian. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older, that you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran, and that you have an argument which does not involve personal experience. If you don't have that, I'm not talking to you. If you want to join the community, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. Only join if you're 18 or older, but we talk about politics, religion, and philosophy. We just have a great time there 24/7 constantly. What's up? How's it going, Naspa?
What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going? How old are
Hey,
you?
all good. What about you?
Doing well. But how old are you?
I'm 19 years old.
And what religion?
Christian.
Okay, what's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
Okay, I'm just gonna ask you a question. Where do you think you're gonna go when you die?
I don't think anyone knows. I can take a guess if you want, but I'm just not really sure why anyone would want to take a guess when instead you can just accept the things that you know and accept that there are things that you don't know. Nobody knows. The people who claim to know are just guessing.
That's not true, actually.
Gotcha. So who knows where we go when we die?
I know.
Gotcha. And how do you know? Oh, he ran away. Gotcha. Yeah, running away probably is a lot easier than defending your Bible, a book that says that owning slaves is okay. But make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. Atheism, thank you so much for the subscription. Welcome to the community. Appreciate you. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing with your friends, doing all that good stuff. Heather, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Venmo. Hail, Heather. Hail, 666. And a big hail, Satan. Also, Michael, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Cash App. Hail, Michael. Hail, 666. And a big hail, Satan. Appreciate that, Michael. What's up, Manchester?
Hello.
You're not 18 or older. You got to be 18 or older. If you're not 18 or older, don't request to join. It's just that simple. Otherwise, it's just going to be sad because I'll kick you and you'll waste everyone's time. What's up? How's it going?
Yo, what up, man?
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 23. I've been watching.
And what religion are you?
All right, that's the thing. I'm no religion, but I do believe there is a God. I believe that religion fucks up the ideology of what God is. And people
Gotcha. Do you believe in Jesus?
No, hell, nah. See, I don't believe that.
Gotcha. I'm only looking to debate people who believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran. If you just make up your own God, I'm not too interested. So only request to join if you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran. If you don't believe in the Bible, Torah, or Quran, not interested in talking to you. What's up, Garrett? How's it going? Garrett, are you there? Garrett, are you there? Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Yo.
How old are you?
20.
No, you're not. That's Cap. Moving on to the next one. Share it with your friends. Do all that good stuff. Sorry it's taking so long. Jeez Louise. Hey, what's up? How's it going, Dino? It's a lot of background noise. What's up, King Tiger?
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 37.
Okay, what religion are you?
I'm Christian.
And what's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
The fact that there's a star called Methuselah, I believe. It's 800 million years older than the universe.
Oh, and what's the
So
evidence
how
for
is
that?
How would that be possible?
Oh, yeah, wait, so what's the evidence for that?
It's a star. You can Google it. It's called
Oh,
Methuselah.
yeah, gotcha. But what's the evidence that it's that age? Go for it.
Well, that's the age that scientists have.
Which scientists say that?
Most scientists, you can look it up on the internet, man. It's on
Gotcha.
Google.
Wait, can you
I don't know,
even name one
I'm
scientist
no
who says
scientist.
this? Can you wait? I'm so sorry. Can you name one scientist who says this, or are you just making it up?
I Googled
Is this
it.
is this
You can
something you
Google
heard
it
in
right
like
now.
Bible
It's called
study one day?
Methuselah. It's
Yeah,
800
I
million
understand your
years
claim.
older
I'm
than the
asking, can you
universe.
name one scientist who claims this?
Well, I can Google it if you want me to.
Yeah, so it sounds like you have no idea, but let's Google it together. Methuselah.
That would be scientifically impossible, right? Since the
Methuselah
universe is only
star?
13 billion years old, and that's a little over 14 billion, so that's
This
impossible, right?
is metal poor subgiant about 200 light years away. Major significance is the main sequence. It's early poison. Blah blah blah. It's rare to know a star's luminosity, surface temperature, and composition precisely enough to get a well-constrained value for its age. Because used due to the uncertainty, this age of star would probably conflict with the age of the universe as determined by the 2018 results of the. However, recent models suggest the revisions of the star age to be 13.7, so it is within the range of the universe.
Where did you read that at?
So this is going to come to you from. I'll get you the study. The study's title is Benchmark Stars for Gaia Fundamental Properties of the Population 2 Star HD 140283 from Interferometric Spectroscope and photometric data. And then there's another one that finds it to be 12 billion years old. So either way, not older than the 13 billion years, 13.7 billion years of the universe.
Oh. Well, I want to ask you something else then, okay?
Gotcha.
You
Yeah,
say
you
God-
probably would want to pivot away from that. Yeah, go for it.
Well, I'm not pivoting away from it. I mean,
Yeah, you just want to talk about it, a separate issue. Yeah, go for it.
I'm not changing no issues. I'm still talking about
Yeah,
the
so
same
we're
thing.
still talking about Methuselah?
Yeah, we can.
Oh, sure. Yeah, so what more do you have to add about Methuselah?
Whatever you read, I don't know, man, because I read differently.
Yeah, so they
I
just did
even
revised studies
researched
and they
it.
found it to be within the range.
Studies. Isn't science best guess?
You think studies are just where they type up a paper and say,
I'm just
we
saying,
think this?
Isn't that all science is best guess?
Wait, you think scientists are just, I think this is the case?
Well, they said a black hole's real. Do you think they studied one?
Yeah, we literally have pictures of black holes.
Pictures.
Yeah.
We have pictures of Jesus.
A proof? You think we have pictures of Jesus? When do you think the picture was invented?
Oh, we have pictures. They
Yeah,
have an actual
I'd love to
picture.
see
They took
them.
They took a 3D scan of
When do you,
his robe
when
that
do
he
you
was
think-
wearing, that he was buried in, and they actually got a 3D picture of his face. So
When do
yeah,
you think
we actually do
pictures
have
were
pictures of
invented?
Jesus.
When do you think pictures were invented?
A picture can be anything. A picture can be a painting of a picture.
Oh, so I'm not talking, we don't have paintings of black holes, we have pictures of black holes.
Okay, yeah, and we have an actual picture of Jesus too. They took it off the computer.
Oh, gotcha. So we have like
They 3D
computer
scanned
generated
the blood
images of
prints
Jesus,
that
sure.
were on his robe. I'm not sure the name of it.
Yeah, are you
it was
aware
always
that are you aware that the Shroud of Turin has been dated only back to 1300 AD?
Oh yeah, is that true?
Yeah, it's a forgery.
know it all, don't
It's
you?
famously a forgery, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
You just make up your own.
I can
make
give
it
you a
your
study if
attack.
you're interested.
Yeah, I'd like to see it because everybody else on Earth believes it was his.
Yeah, so it was done by 4 different teams of scientists, and they sampled 4 different sections of it, and they all found it to be around 1300, from around 1300 AD.
1300 AD.
Yeah, this is investigating a dated piece of the Shroud of Turin by Freer Waters and Joel. They find it to be 1300 AD. So what do you make of the fact that it's a 1300 AD forgery?
Wow, I never heard of that. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a fun fact for you. So now you learn fun facts about Methuselah, the star, which is within the age of the universe, and you learn fun facts about the Shroud of Turin, the forgery, which is all easily explainable. So I got a question for you. Do you think slavery is always wrong?
Slavery is always wrong.
Yeah. Do you think God was wrong when he said that you can own slaves in Leviticus?
Times were different back then, man. Things are
Yeah,
different back
but
then.
do you
can't
think
judge
God-
somebody
but I thought it was
for
always
something
wrong.
What they
Wait.
said 2,000 years ago.
I thought it was always wrong.
2024.
Didn't you say that it was always wrong?
Well, a lot of things they did in the past were wrong.
Yeah, gotcha. So was God
They
wrong when
had
he said
different
that?
beliefs. Things were
Was
different back
God
then. They
was
didn't have
God
TikTok.
wrong when he said that?
Well, now, yeah. Back then, I
Yeah,
don't.
wait, but back then, when God said that, was God wrong?
I don't know. I wasn't there to judge him. I wasn't there.
So,
I
but
don't know
you
what the
think that you're
circumstances
so
was.
can a perfect God be wrong?
Perfect God cannot be wrong.
Gotcha. So then God was right. If he can't be wrong, then he was right when he
So was
said that you
that
could
God
own
who
people
said
as
that, or was
farming
that
equipment.
Jesus? Because there's three: Father, Son, and the Holy
Is
Spirit.
Jesus God?
I believe they're all three one and one. Three separate people
Is
and
Jesus
one
God?
person. Yes.
Gotcha. So then, you can do the Father, the Son, or the Holy Spirit. Commanded that it's or said that it's okay to own slaves. And if God can't be wrong, then he was right. So, do you think that Jesus, that the Father, the Son, or the Holy Spirit was right when they said that it's okay to own slaves? Do you think that that was fine?
You bring things like this up, what, to discredit Jesus and
That's a yes no question. Can I just
put
get
him
the yes or the
down,
no?
random stuff
Was
like
it
this.
was
but
it
you don't
right or
bring up
was
the
it
good
fucked
things.
up? Was it right or was it wrong?
Well, yeah, it's wrong.
Gotcha. So then
Unfortunately,
God
it's
was wrong.
Now, 2024. Yes,
Oh,
it's wrong.
wait. So would you, if I took you in a time machine back then, would you own a slave?
I don't know what I would do back then because that was 2,000 years ago.
Yeah,
Things were
would it
different.
have
Beliefs
been,
were different.
would it have been
Laws were
okay to
different.
own a slave if I took you in a time machine back 2,000 years ago? Would that be fine?
You went back 10,000 years, would things be different in Egyptian times?
Yeah, it would be different, but guess what I wouldn't
Of
do?
course.
Own a slave.
Of course it was wrong to own a slave.
Yeah, then why, so if it's wrong, if slavery is wrong, then why did God say it's okay?
I have no idea God ever said it was okay to own a slave.
Do you want to hear the verse? It's Leviticus 25, 44 through 46. In Exodus, he
hear it.
also says that you can beat your slaves if you're interested in that one too.
Oh, does he? Well, let's hear how he says it then.
Yeah. Let's hear. As for your male and female slaves, whom you may have, it is from the nations around you that you may acquire male and female slaves. You may also acquire them from among the aliens residing with you, and from their families who are with you, who have been born in your land. They may be your property. You may keep them as a possession for your children after you, for them to inherit as property. These you may treat as slaves. But as for your fellow Israelites, no one shall rule over the other with rigor, I think, with harshness. That's the word. And then
What book was that?
Exodus, you can beat your slaves. Verse. That's 21, 20 through 21. So go in there now. When a slave owner strikes a male or female slave with a rod and the slave dies immediately, the owner shall be punished. But if the slave survives a day or two, there is no punishment, for the slave is the owner's property. So do you think it's morally just to beat slaves with rods? Do you think it's morally just to make laws that say that you can beat slaves with rods? Do you think that's good? Would an all good God say that you can own people as farming equipment and beat them with a rod?
First off, what book was that? Exodus?
Yeah, it's Exodus is the beating verse, and then Leviticus is the you can own them verse.
And if I understand correctly, wasn't the Bible written by prophets?
So these, if you think, unless you think
Couldn't
the
they have
Bible
written anything they
contains
wanted in
lies.
there?
Wait, I'm sorry. Do you think the Bible contains lies?
Do I? I mean,
Do you
it
think
might.
the Bible
It
contains
might.
lies?
It
No.
might. There's no way of me
Oh, it
actually
might.
fact
If
checking
the Bible might contain lies, then why the fuck would I believe in it?
It's not about what lies or whatever you might find in the Bible. It's about believing in Jesus and God.
Gotcha. It's about believing in it in the face of the evidence, in the face of the fact that you think it contains lies. You believe in a book that you think might contain lies.
You obviously think there's some kind of God up there because you wouldn't be here trying to prove everybody else wrong.
Yeah, unfortunately, the people around me do believe in God. It's just an unfortunate consequence of living in this society. So as soon as people stop believing in God, then I'm going to stop hosting the lives because it no longer affects me.
Well, you got a lot of people to try and convince, buddy.
Yeah, I do. And unfortunately, they're just digging their head in the sand, hoping that the verses go away. They're not going to go away. Your God thinks slavery is cool.
But isn't that their personal beliefs or whatever they want to believe? Can't they believe in
whether or not
Jesus?
slavery is cool?
No, whether or not slavery is not cool, bro. Like, quit trying to throw that at
Then why would God say that slavery is
I don't
cool?
know the whole stipulations and everything about that, bro.
Then why would God say slavery is cool? Do you know the
I have no
context for
idea.
Leviticus?
I have no idea what he was. If he said that, okay, since the Bible was written by prophets, right, and not God himself, he didn't know hand the Bible down from heaven, bro. It was written by prophets.
No. Oh, you don't even know your own book. So let me teach you a lesson about your own religion.
I don't know my own
So
book.
the laws that are given in Exodus come directly from the mouth of God, and the laws that are given in Leviticus come directly from the mouth of God.
Oh, okay. Cool.
That is cool. So
Guys,
does the
what, so
Bible
you-
lie about what
you're
God
straight up what,
says?
science, right? Everything. If you can't prove
Wait, yeah,
it,
you probably would
if
want to
you
pivot
can't
away from the
prove it,
conversation
it
about the
don't
Bible.
exist,
It's not
right?
going well for you.
Is that what you're saying? You're a science kind of guy, right? If
Yeah, you
can't
do wanna
prove
pivot
it don't
away.
exist, right?
What doesn't exist?
I said you believe in science, all that, everything like that. It's understandable.
I
If it
believe
don't
in the scientific
exist,
method,
And
yeah.
if you can't prove it, it don't exist, right?
Well, yeah, and then if you can prove it, then it was just a lie made up by men.
Oh, well, when God and Jesus give us faith, right? For us to have faith, we couldn't have enough proof to know he's alive, or there wouldn't be no such thing
Does
as faith.
does God give you? Do you have the faith that God was cooking when He said that it's okay to own people as property?
I have no idea why anybody would say that, but I'm
God
sure he
said
didn't
it. Why
mean
would
it like
God
that.
say it?
I'm sure that was probably a misunderstood,
So
that
it
was
says multiple
misunderstood in some
times.
way.
The word slave appears over and over and over again, and it's very clearly talking about slaves in the way that it says that you can own them as a possession, that you can pass them down to your kids as property.
So it was referenced
People as
one time in
property are
Exodus, and now
slaves.
God is the slave owner, right?
God is
Because
a slave endorser.
Because some prophet wrote down in the Bible something about
It's
slavery.
God's
Now God
words.
himself is a slave owner, right?
Wait, so do you think Leviticus and Exodus are just full of lies?
Well, who knows? They're prophets, man.
Do you think that do your prophets lie?
We take what
Do
they
your
say
prophets
at face
lie?
value. All we have is the Bible and what they wrote.
Do
That's
your
all- that's
prophets
the only thing we
lie?
have.
Do your prophets lie?
I don't know if they lie. Do your
You
scientists
don't
lie?
know if your prophets lie?
Do your scientists lie?
Oh, that's the cool thing about the scientists is because there's so many of them. The way the scientific method works is that even if one or two scientists do lie, you can weed out that data really easily by just running the experiment over and over and over again. That's why in every science paper there's a section titled methodology that allows you to do the experiment over again to verify whether or not the
Well,
scientists are lying. That's
I
the
guess
that's
that,
the neat
I
thing
guess
about
that
science.
stinks for me because I can't go back 2,000 years and see if he was lying or not.
Yeah, that's why science is a
So-
lot more reliable than a book that claims that unicorns are real and that the Earth is flat and that the sun is younger
Unicorns
than
were
the
real,
Earth.
bro. What? They never say unicorns are real in the Bible.
They do,
What?
they do. There's literally a verse.
Unicorns. Okay. Guy who believes in the Big Bang, everything started from
Bible
nothing, right? Everything
unicorn
just proofs
verse.
out of dust, right?
This is this Numbers 23:22?
Finding stars out there older than the universe, and this guy tries to.
Yeah,
do this.
we disproved that one. You already got
I
torn in
still
half
don't
on that
believe
one.
that. I'm gonna do my research later.
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
still
So
don't
then if you're gonna
believe
do your research, then I'm not sure why you're making the claim.
that. Because I saw it already on TV and everything.
Yeah,
I
it's
watched
Numbers
Discovery Channel,
23,
I watched all that.
22 in the King James Version. God brought them out of Egypt. He hath, as it were, the strength of a unicorn.
The strength of a unicorn, and that was written by a prophet, right?
It's Numbers. Numbers written by who? Very well. It was written by Moses. Do you think Moses is a liar?
No, I don't.
Gotcha. Well, so if Moses isn't a liar and he wrote Exodus,
say there was
Leviticus,
unicorns. He
and
said the
Numbers,
strength
then you're
of a
committed to unicorns and slavery.
He said the strength of a unicorn. He didn't say there were unicorns. He
So
said the
did Moses
strength
believe in
of a
unicorns?
unicorn.
Did
What if I said the
Moses
strength
believe in
of a giant?
unicorns?
Pardon?
Why would I take the word of someone who believes in unicorns seriously?
He never said. He said the strength of a unicorn. He didn't say there's a unicorn.
Yeah.
standing
So
over
what's
there in the
what
field, bro.
object does the word unicorn refer to? Is it just his own imagination?
Maybe.
So he's just talking about wait. So Moses is talking about ungodly creatures. Your prophet
might
is
be.
talking about creatures God didn't make.
Well, after the things that happened to Moses, I'm sure he would be talking some crazy stuff, man.
Oh, gotcha. So your prophet is crazy. Wait. So why would I believe your book if it was written by a crazy prophet?
I never asked you to believe my book.
Gotcha. Wait, but why would you believe
You're
in
on
your
here,
book
trying to
if it's
convince
written by a
people that
crazy
God is not
prophet?
real, bro. And that's not true.
Why would anyone believe in a book written by a crazy prophet?
Doesn't matter who it was written by. It's written by prophets, bro, and God's real.
Do you trust
That
crazy
doesn't
people?
mean, like, what?
Do you trust crazy people?
Do you?
No.
Okay, well, I don't either.
Yeah, so then why would you trust Moses?
I just said it was crazy talk,
Yeah, so why would you trust Moses? If Moses is writing crazy talk, why would you trust Moses?
Because I believe in God.
Gotcha. So you're just going to, that's all you have left, a belief in God with lots of reasons not to believe, and you can't provide a single reason to believe. That's
So what
fine.
do you have? You told me that a prophet said that God was a slave driver, and what else did you say? Somebody else, Moses said that the strength of a unicorn. That was your two best arguments, right? And that Methuselah wasn't older than the universe, even
Yep,
though it says
correct.
it on Google and multiple.
Yeah,
sources
so
on
wait,
Google
I
have said
gave
it.
you two sources. So I gave you two sources that say that it in fact is not older than the universe, and you provided me 0 sources that says that it was. So I'm gonna default to my 2 sources over your 0 sources. That's the cool thing about science, is that repeating the experiment allows you to actually come to the true and accurate conclusions. I'm going to move on to the next guest, but I do appreciate you coming on up here. If you're enjoying the debates, make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. If you want to support the stream, Venmo's allegedly-Ian. Cash App is just allegedly Ian. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older, you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran, and you have an argument which does not involve personal experience. If you do not have that, I'm not talking to you. And with that, let's go to the very next guest. Hey, what's up? How's it going?
How's it going, man?
Yeah, how old are you?
23.
And what religion?
Christian.
Gotcha. What's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
Well, you gotta think about it, man. Like,
Okay, I'm thinking about it.
everything just comes together.
Yeah, do you think, kids with cancer, is that things just coming together?
It just happens.
Yeah, it just happens. Why wouldn't God stop it?
How's he supposed to stop it?
By teleporting the tumor out of existence.
Not possible.
Is God all powerful?
He is.
Is the power to teleport tumors out of existence a power?
Not possible.
Why is it not possible?
It's just not possible.
Why not?
Because that's imaginary.
So is your God.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Not true whatsoever.
Yaha.
Yo, you were bringing up verses. Can you bring up Proverbs 27:13?
Let's go back to Leviticus 25:44 through 46 if you're interested in talking about the verses.
Okay.
Why would God say that it's okay to own people as property?
He doesn't say it like that.
He does. That's exactly what he says.
That's not how the text reads.
Yeah, do you want to read the text? Do you want to hear the text and you can explain do you think
You can
first
read
of
it
all, do you think God was right when he said this?
You can read it first. Let's read through the text first.
Yeah, let's read through the text. As for your male and female slaves, whom you may have, it is from the nations around you that you may acquire male and female slaves. You may also acquire them from among the aliens residing with you, and from their families who are with you, who have been born in your lands. They may be your property. You may keep them as a possession for your children after you, for them to inherit as property. These you may treat as slaves, but as for your fellow Israelites, no one shall rule over the other with harshness. If you're off the app, I can't hear you, by the way. You might be looking up the verse.
Leviticus 23.
25:44 through 46. I just read the verse to you.
I don't know, man.
You don't know?
might be
You have no
a
idea?
lost
Why would God say? Do you think God was right when he said that?
It might be a lost cause, man. I'm not gonna
Oh,
lie.
yeah, that's a really great non-answer. I bet you probably would want to end this conversation, wouldn't you? It's not going well for you and you
it
don't have an
sounds like a
answer.
lost cause.
How about,
Pretty
do you
one-sided.
enjoy the Bible?
I do.
Yeah, let's hear another verse. This is Exodus 21:20 through 21. When a slave owner strikes a male or female slave with a rod, and the slave dies immediately, the owner shall be punished. But if the slave survives a day or two, there is no punishment, for the slave is the owner's property.
From the 10 Commandments, right?
This is from Exodus, not the 10 Commandments.
After the 10 Commandments?
After the 10 Commandments, yes. From the mouth
Okay,
of God.
in the 10 Commandments, it says that God takes people from a slave land and rescues them into a new
And pray
land.
tell, which of the 10 commandments is that?
It's in the very beginning.
Yeah, but which of the 10 commandments is that?
It's in the very beginning.
I'll give you a hint, it's none of them.
It doesn't make sense. At least half of your viewers are believers for a reason.
Yeah, because they've never thought critically about this issue a day in their life, as clearly you never have. Doesn't it feel weird not being able to defend, even a little bit, either of these verses? You can't defend your God at all.
No, it just doesn't seem reasonable to defend them when I don't really have to defend them.
Gotcha. Wait, so do you think that God was perfect when he said that you can own slaves?
God is perfect.
Was God perfect when he said that you can own slaves?
He didn't
Was
say that.
saying you can own slaves the perfect thing to do?
He didn't say that.
We all heard it.
You read the verse and put it in your own words. He didn't say it.
I read it directly, word for word, from the Bible. I can
But
do it
that's still
again
out
if
of
you really
context.
want. I don't know why you're trying to be a gaslighting Gary. I literally already read
Not
it.
gaslighting. It's out
Yeah,
of
because I already
context.
read it, but you're pretending like I didn't. That's fine. I'll read it again just for you.
It's out of
As for
context.
the male and female slaves whom you may have, it is from the nations around you that you may acquire male and female slaves. You may also acquire them from among the aliens residing with you and from their families who are with you, who have been born in your land. They may be your property. You may keep them as a possession for your children after you, for them to inherit as property. These you may treat as slaves, but as for your fellow Israelites, no one shall rule over the other with harshness. 25, 44 through 46. Are you looking up now? Do you want to give it a read? Bro's entire worldview is about to collapse in on itself.
Not really.
Gotcha. Do you want to read it out loud for the class?
Half of your viewers are believers, so
Yeah, do you want to read it out loud for the class? Do you want to go for it? I don't give a fuck. All of my viewers could be believers, and I wouldn't give a rat's ass.
Well.
Do you want to read it?
Wait, can we
or
go
are you
through
scared
my
to read it
verse?
out loud?
Can we go through my verse?
No, wait. You just looked at my verse, so it's pulled up. Do you want to read it?
Well, you gotta say it one more time.
Do you
'cause
want
I
to?
have the
But you already have
Bible
it
app.
pulled up. How about you just give it a read? How about you read it out loud for everyone?
Okay, hold on, bro. Leviticus
25, 44 through 46.
34 through 36.
24 or 44 through 46. Yeah.
Okay.
Kayla, thank you so much. Appreciate it. I guess while we're waiting for that, I can shout out the. Let me get the. Kirsten, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Venmo. Hail, Kirsten. Hail, 666, and a big hail, Satan. I appreciate that, Kirsten.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy.
Crazy funny, crazy humorous.
It's weird.
Yeah. Do you
Your
want to read the
male and
verse?
female slaves are to come from the nations around you. From then you may buy slaves. You may also buy some of the temporary residents living among you and members of their clans born in your country, and they will become your property. You can bequeath them to your children as inherited property and can make them slaves for life, but you must not rule over your fellow Israelites ruthlessly.
Yeah, so why the fuck would God say something like that? You have no
Well,
idea.
he's not saying it like that.
He's not saying it like what?
Saying it like how you're putting it.
In what way is God saying it?
Your male and female slaves are to come from the nations around you. Okay, let's relate this to real life in the United States.
Yeah. So it's
People
saying
are
like you
coming
can get
from
your
nations
slaves from
around
Mexico.
us, and they're granted freedom, true freedom, into our country.
Wait. Do you think that it's ethical to bring someone here as a slave?
It's not bringing people here as a slave.
I'm sorry. What's the fifth word?
The fifth word?
Oh wait, actually, let me count it out. 2, 3, 4. Fuck, I counted wrong. Seventh word.
Your male and female slaves are to come from
Yeah,
you.
so that is a slave. If it's not talking about slaves, then why does it say slave?
You know the Bible has a lot of metaphors, right? You should know that since you study it a lot. What were you saying?
Yeah, so we know that it means slave because of the way the word is used at literally all the other verses in which the word is used. We know that it means slave because the description that it gives after is a description of a slave.
Can we move on to a different? It's lagging.
Every
I
verse.
did give you an attempt. I said it's not like it's the Bible, but
It is the
it's
Bible,
in
yeah.
today. So you got to relate it to today's day and age,
Wait, so
not
why would
how it
God
was,
ever say that this is an okay thing to do?
not how it was back
Wait, so why
then.
would God, wait. Is God timeless? Does God exist outside of time?
Does God exist outside of time? God
Yeah.
is time.
Yeah, so God has no problem saying that you can't eat shellfish. So which one's worse, eating a shrimp or owning slaves?
What are these comparisons?
God literally outlaws eating shellfish in the Bible.
No, that does
Yes,
not happen. That does not
God
happen.
says
Anyways,
no shellfish. Let's read the verse.
oh my
11, Leviticus 11:12. 11:12. And since you are to regard them as unclean, and you must not eat their meat, you must regard carcasses as unclean. Oh, okay, wait. But all creatures of the sea or stream that do not have fins and scales, whether among all the swarming things or among all the living creatures in the water, you are to regard as unclean. And since you are to regard them as unclean, you must not eat their meat, you must regard carcasses as unclean. So God said, no shellfish. He said no shrimp. So which one's worse, eating shrimp or owning slaves?
What kind of questions are these, man?
Ones that
These
you
are
have no
not real
answer for, ones
questions.
that shatter your entire worldview, ones that I'm going to keep on asking you until you answer. Which one's worse, eating shellfish, eating
I
shrimp,
don't think
or
that's gonna
owning
change
slaves?
my
Which one's
worldview.
worse?
Okay, owning slaves is worse
Then why did God say no shellfish but didn't say no slaves?
because the shellfish are nasty. But it doesn't make any sense, man.
Which
But
part of that question doesn't make sense?
yeah, it's not a serious question, but it's
Yeah,
okay.
wait. So that's not a serious answer. I'll give you an analogy to help you understand just how stupid what you just said is. This would be like if
Okay.
I asked you, "Do you want to eat the ice cream sandwich or put your hand in a blender?" And then you said you want to eat the ice cream sandwich, and then went over and put your hand in a blender.
Can I read you a verse?
Yeah, because you've been folded like a chair, scrambled like an omelet, and reformatted like a hard drive on that one. Yeah, you can read me a verse.
Okay. 27:17. Okay. My verse is Proverbs 27:17. as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. That's all it is. And that's all
Sounds
God is.
good.
So we help each other instead of being selfish, putting our qualities aside and sharpening each other, creating better
Yeah,
for
sounds
this earth
good.
that God created.
Sounds good. Do you think that the slaves
That's
got
all God
sharpened by
is.
being owned by the Israelites?
You're talking about Israelites. I'm talking about right now.
Yeah, I'm talking about the things that your God said was okay.
He said that.
Yeah, he did. We just read the verse for like 20 minutes.
People
Did you
wrote
get
it.
clunked on the noggin or something?
No, I think you did. But
No, you. Yeehaw. Thank you so much,
you're
Glass
putting
Lotus.
unreasonable comparisons and trying to make something out of it.
I
Talking
don't think
about
you. What am I?
You're talking about shellfish and
Yeah.
slavery.
Yeah, because in the exact same book, God
That's a
said
good
no
comparison.
shellfish. He said slaves are fine.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah, it is because it's in the
Shellfish
same
and
book.
slavery.
Yeah, yes, it is a good comparison. Thank you.
All right, well, don't be surprised that half your viewers are Christian believers. 'Cause
I
it's
wish
the only
all of
thing
my
that's
viewers were
true.
Christian believers so that I could
And
make many of them not Christian
without
believers.
Christians, there would be no good people in the world. 'cause
Yeah.
they would
Oh,
have
that's
nothing
not
to look
true.
towards.
Wait, that's not true. Do you think Hitler was a good person?
That's not true.
Which part of that? That's
Who
a
stopped
question
him?
that wasn't a statement.
Did someone stop him?
Yeah. Do you know who stopped Hitler?
I mean, did someone stop him?
Yeah. Wait, remind me. Who killed Hitler?
Didn't we realize that it was a bad thing?
Wait, I'm so sorry. Well, no, he didn't. In fact, famously, he did not realize it was a bad thing. He famously, he did not realize that it was a bad thing. Famously, no.
You know, God comes with time, and you have to understand that those kind of things
Yeah,
are
phenomenal
bad.
non-answer.
That's how
Didn't
God
ask, don't
works.
care. Do you have anything else?
No, but I appreciate the
Yeah,
conversation.
you should reflect on your life choices. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen, dropping a follow if you're enjoying the debates. You never want to miss one in the future. To the people who have gifted so far, Grimlock, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Cash App. Hail, Grimlock. Hail, 666. And a big hail, Satan. Jamie, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Cash App. Hail, Jamie. Hail, 666. And a big hail, Satan. And Grimlock again, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Yeehaw. Thank you so much, Claire. Grimlock, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Cash App. Hail, Grimlock. Hail, 666. And a big hail, Satan. Grimlock, I appreciate the hell out of you for all of your support. It is literally just so kind. I appreciate the hell out of you. Thank you so much. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older, that you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran, and that you have an argument which does not involve personal experience. If you want to support the stream, Venmo's allegedly -Ian. Cash App is just allegedly Ian. TTs, thank you so much for the hand heart. Both are in my bio. If you want to join the community, if you're 18 or older, you want to hang out with cool people, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. I'm super active there. What's up? How's it going, Toe?
It's going. How you doing today, sir?
Doing well. How old are you?
I'll be 37 in a couple of weeks.
And what religion?
Baptist.
Gotcha. What's your strongest argument for the existence?
Okay. Let me renege on my answer. So I'm a believer of God. I don't really believe in a religion.
Okay, I'm only looking to discuss with people who believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran. Otherwise, there's just not enough stuff there to actually make the debate interesting. I need someone who actually believes in a holy book, because these people are ruining society. What's up? How's it going, Jackson?
I'm chilling. What's up?
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 27.
And what religion are you?
I'm Christian.
What's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
The strongest argument simply goes is that you can't either prove or the same way you claim that you can't prove God is the same way you can't disprove God in general. To go along with this, just to go back to the shellfish thing.
Wait, can we just stick with that for a second? So your argument is essentially that God exists because you can't prove him or disprove him?
No, that's part of my argument.
Oh, gotcha. So what it sounds like is you're just giving an argument for why you're not going to give an argument. Is that correct?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all, actually. So if you would let me finish, that'd be...
Yeah, wait, so if you can't prove him or disprove him, what are you doing here?
So the point I'm trying to make is that simply saying, oh, well, you can take the Bible out of context all you want. Like going back to the whole, God says shellfish it's a sin to eat shellfish.
Yeah, please. Let's go check out the context. So what's the context of Leviticus 25, 44 through 46, where it says that you can own people as property? What's the context?
Well, the context comes from the day and ages that they were living in.
Yeah, gotcha. So why did God say no shellfish, but God didn't say no slaves?
So the reason God said no shellfish, that was simply for the people who were, that God's people who were traveling to the new land.
So why didn't God say no slaves to these people, to God's people who were traveling to a new land? Why didn't God say no slaves?
I can't prove that. I can't say why God said no slaves. I can't.
No, why did he not say no slaves? Why wouldn't he say no slaves?
Why would I know that? Why would I can ask?
Because God had no problem. Because owning slaves is worse than eating shellfish, which means that God's values are quite weird when he's outlawing shellfish, but not outlawing slavery.
So I was saying, in today's age, obviously we view slavery as bad, which is hindsight. Back in those days, slavery was basically a job as an indentured or a slave.
It was not a job. You are the property of this person. Do you get beaten at your job?
If you would let me finish, yeah, I'm trying to finish, but your whole basis is just talking over and being condescending.
Listen, I'm not going to take debate advice from you. You're doing terribly so far. So if you want to get to the point a bit quicker, if you want to answer the questions and engage with the arguments, it's not a job. It's fucked up to say that it is a job. You don't get beaten at your job, but it says in Exodus 21, 20 through 21, that you can beat your slaves, just not too hard.
No shit, it's fucked up to say it's not a job, but you also have to look at the same times that we live in, which we know it is fucked up with the hindsight that we have. Back in those days, slavery was fairly acceptable.
Yeah. As was eating shellfish, but God said no shellfish. He didn't say no slaves.
Actually, again, if you would let me finish for the shellfish part, God said for his people, do not indulge in eating shellfish. He also said, don't marry anybody outside of the religion or the race, which, it's happened already, which has happened in the Bible multiple times. It goes back, it all involves context. You would also know that further in the Bible, in the New Testament, God said, what I said back then does not apply. Was
it good when God said?
Can you let me finish?
Was it good when God said that you can own people as property? Was that good?
You wanted a debate, so let me.
Yeah, well, because you're trying to pivot to other shit, but I'm just asking you, was it good when God said that you can own people as property?
You wanted a debate, so let me finish what I was saying.
Yeah, well, I'm asking you a question. Was it good when God said, just an easy yes or no, either yes it was good or no it was not good when God said that you can own people as property?
I wasn't done with my previous comments, so can you let me
Yeah, wait, you're just trying to pivot all over the place. That's fine. Yeah, go for it. I'll ask you the exact same question. Go for it.
Just let me finish next time and stop being rude and condescending. You want to be a host,
Yeah, right? I'm not going to take debate advice from you. You're getting torn in half right now.
I'm not. Okay, whatever. So, as I was saying, God was saying that shellfish, along with every other sin that he mentioned in the Old Testament, has been removed once they reach the new land that they reach. And then he wanted them to further prosper and expand his law, his word to others. Okay, you see, this is your whole argument. You just kind of talk over people. You're just rude. So I know why people lose,
Yeah, wait, so I'm just gonna ask you the exact same question. I was too busy playing Hangman. So was it good when God said that you can own people as slaves?
That was a land of the law.
Yes or no? Was it good when God said that people can own other people as slaves? Was that good?
See, that's a very loaded question, obviously.
It's a yes or no question, in fact. Was it either yes, it was good, no, it was not good?
Lead me into an answer that you know is more morally and ethically wrong. So that's what you're trying.
Yeah, it is. That's kind of the point of disproving your God. Yeah. So was it either yes, it was good when God said that you can own people as farming equipment? No, it was not good when God said you can own people as farming equipment. Yes or no?
All right, here. Yes. How about that?
Oh, gotcha. You're a sick fuck. You think slavery was good?
That's the part of the loaded question. Because if I say
Yeah. Yeah, it is yeah, you're right. It is a dilemma. Correct. Yeah, that's crazy. You think slavery is good?
oh yeah, because obviously, dude, I'm black. I don't give a.
Yeah. That's totally cool. So why do you think slavery is good?
That's not even part of the debate of what you're talking about,
It is, because you just said that it was good when God said that you can own people as slaves.
dude. You are obviously talking over me. Look at your chat. Like
Yeah, I don't give. Wait, my entire chat could be spamming else right now, and I don't care. I'm not going to take debate advice from you. You're doing terribly. You just said that slavery is good.
talking over me. So I'm not too concerned.
I don't give a fuck, dude. Skill issue. Get better.
Oh wow, is this how you host debates?
Yeah, it
Crazy.
is. Do you want to run? You can run if you don't like it.
Oh no, I don't run from shit. So you
Gotcha.
can
So,
over
do you
me.
think it was also good when God said that you can beat your slaves with a rod?
Oh, that has nothing to do with why you're asking why God isn't real. That's your question. Is that
Yeah.
your-
Oh, well, so because intuitively, beating slaves with rods and owning slaves is actually bad. It's bad always. Which means that it's bad when God said this, which means God's not all good, which means that God would both be all good and also not all good. A contradiction. We conclude that God doesn't exist because we've reached an absurdity.
You can't define what good is. You can't define what.
Yeah, you need to pivot to the transcendental argument for God because you just admitted that slavery is good. So why would I ever take your morals seriously when you just told me that you think slavery is good?
Oh, I was just pandering to you because that's.
Gotcha.
obviously-
Wait. So you acknowledge. So you admit to everyone that you lied about your answers. Let's go back to the question. Was it good when God said that you can own people as farming equipment?
Do you have an actual question about if God is real or not, or is that just your only go-to?
I was actually trying to ask you that at the beginning, but then I think you brought it here, and then because if you want to pivot away from this because you got completely folded on this topic, if you want to pivot to an argument that doesn't involve personal experience for why God exists, I'll permit it with the acknowledgement that you got stomped on this one.
No, Dan gets stomped. How about that? How about you actually ask a question?
Yeah, go for yeah. So, what's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
Oh, is that the question? Are you going to pivot back to slavery and all that other stuff?
Well, it depends what your answer is.
My answer?
Yeah, depends if your answer is like, well, the principles in the Bible are really good, then obviously not.
Are you gonna cut me off while I talk?
Depends on how stupid the things you say are. Depends on how long-winded you are.
So I'm just gonna talk, and then if you're gonna talk over me, I'm just gonna continue to move on.
That's fine. Sounds good.
All right. So the way you prove that God exists, obviously, well, when you use math to prove math, science to prove science, if you prove God is real by going to the Bible, that's one way to prove to it. You can't use personal experience, can't use miracles or any BS like that, apparently.
Gotcha. So the Bible is true because the Bible is true?
Yep, basically.
So can you tell me why my power strip isn't working?
Because it doesn't have because it doesn't have a source.
Yeah, and your Bible proof isn't a proof at all because it doesn't have a source. You're just restating the conclusion again.
Just prove God.
Yeah, so nowhere in science is it claimed that like the Big Bang happened because the Big Bang happened. Nowhere in math is it claimed that like the Cantor's theorem is true because the Cantor's theorem is true. That's not how either of these disciplines work. But here you are saying the Bible is true because the Bible is true.
You know what a theory is?
I said theorem. It's not a theory, it's a theorem.
Where does theorem derive from?
Theorems in mathematics and mathematical physics are just going to be results of various properties. So the Cantor's theorem, for example, is literally just stating that all the possible combinations of elements in a set are the total number of those is going to be more than the elements of the set itself.
Okay, so you know in science when they add theory, theorem, whatever, you know it's subject to change, subject to being disproven. You know how many you know how many theories there have been in the world that have been disproven?
Yeah, that's a really good reason why you should believe in science. Because when new evidence comes out that indicates that science got it wrong on something, it updates itself to make sure that it has the right answer. Science is always in the process of becoming more and more correct, whereas your religion is terminally wrong forever because it's unable to update itself. That's why you're stuck with the belief that the universe is fucking 8,000 years old. That's why you're stuck with the belief that slavery was good. That's why you're stuck with the belief that the earth is older than the sun. That's why you're stuck with the belief that the earth is flat. That's why you're stuck with the belief that unicorns exist. The Bible got tons of scientific facts wrong, and you're stuck with them forever. Whereas science can get facts wrong, and then it updates itself as new evidence comes out.
But it was wrong initially, correct? And it's always
and your Bible is always wrong.
Always going to be a theory. So
because it's always subject to being updated. Yeah, correct. That's not a reason why science is bad. That's a reason why it's good. It updates itself to be true. Why would you not want a system that updates itself to be true?
You base it off of something that's constantly changing. So
if you don't like science, turn your phone off.
You can believe this. You can believe this one day, and then 100 years, everybody's gonna believe. I can't believe someone believed that. Like,
unfortunately, the evidence for our best theories are simply overwhelming. It is we either have it right, or it is something extraordinarily close to it. We have the big pictures right. Almost certainly, I would stake my life on it. That the universe rapidly expanded. I would stake my life that Darwinian evolution or some form of evolution, some form of genetic variation via natural selection is how we got here. The specific details are going to be different over time as we learn more, but the overall broad pictures, the amount of evidence is simply overwhelming. And I'm sorry, your theory is that God said abracadabra and then the earth appeared, and then God said alakazam and then people appeared. Do you have any evidence for either of those?
Do you have any evidence of what you believe?
Yeah, wait, which one do you want evidence for? I have tons of evidence for both of these.
You have physical evidence of it?
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
Which one do you want evidence for?
Evolution.
Yeah, so the evidence for evolution is going to be present in our second chromosome, specifically the fact that it is identical to the 2A, 2B chromosomes that are held by all the other great apes. The fact that it is binded together actually removed key functionality from it, indicating that it was not the result of an intelligent design, but was rather a careful tinkering process that relates us directly to the great apes. That's the evidence.
So where are those great apes?
They're all around us. We're great apes. Chimpanzees are great apes. Gorillas are great apes. Orangutans are great apes. Bonobos are great apes. They're all around us.
That's crazy, because I'm gonna pull up the easy argument of what if it's evolutionary? Why are there still apes and why are they're still us?
Gotcha. So this is like the easiest argument in the world to answer because you just fundamentally don't understand evolution. So let me break this down for you. So I'm not claiming that we evolved like Pokemon. I'm claiming that we share a common ancestor with the other great apes, i.e. if you go back far enough in our ancestral tree, it's going to be the same being, the same species that eventually divided. The evidence for this comes from the fossil record, the DNA record, and also the second chromosome again. So I'll ask you a question, because your question was very easy to answer. I'll ask you a question I know you don't have an answer for. If we didn't come from evolution, why is our second chromosome exactly an exact fusion of the 2A, 2B chromosomes that the other great apes have? Why is that the case?
Oh, because God made it like that. How about that?
Yeah, why would God make it that way, giving it useless components by making it that way?
Evolution with evolution. I answer God with God. How about that? That's like
Yeah, wait, so why would God give us useless parts of our DNA?
like the second chromosome.
Yeah, so in the second chromosome, there's these things at the end of chromosomes that help with aging. They're called telomeres. The second chromosome fused at the telomeres of the 2A, 2B chromosomes, which means that these telomeres are not at the end of the chromosome, but are actually in the middle of the chromosome, which means they're useless.
Just because you don't know what it does doesn't mean that
We know exactly what it does. It gets looked at by the mRNA and discarded.
So because you don't know what it does.
Gotcha. Can you explain to me the DNA transcription process?
No.
Gotcha. Okay, I'll break this down for you. So DNA only does stuff if it gets transcribed and then expressed as proteins. If it doesn't do that, then it doesn't do anything. Now, these never get expressed as proteins because they're discarded.
So they have something to do with something.
They get discarded, like the scraps of paper on the end of your your homework when the teacher says like please remove those like little bits at the edge of your paper. They're like that. They're scraps. They get removed.
Because they come from a binder that holds the paper in them. So
Yeah, very good, very good. Yes, they do. Yeah, and these telomeres came from our ancestry. Yeah, things come from places. Great observation. Why would God give us useless parts of our DNA?
So they had a use, and then it's not useful anymore once we get the paper out. So you saying like that's a horrible example.
No, it's a really great example because you're committed to because I can say that it used to have a use, that's why it exists, whereas you have no explanation for why God would create it that way. AG, thank you so much for the dinosaur. Big W, AG. Why the fuck does God hate dinosaurs so much? I have no idea.
I'm the one who said they used to have a use. You said they were useless. I was
Yeah,
correct.
I agree. They used to have a use. They're currently useless.
Yeah, I know.
In our DNA, they are useless.
Oh, so they used to have a use, like I said.
Yes, wait, but not in your worldview. They didn't, because they used to have a use back when we were more closely related to the other great apes. They used to have a use before humans existed.
Oh, sorry. I said that. I was correcting you.
No, I agree that they used to have a use, but you don't believe that they have a use because you think God said abracadabra and made us this way. The switcheroo that you're trying to do isn't going to work.
When did I ever say that?
Because you literally believe that God poofed us into existence. If you reject evolution, unless you think that our DNA has changed substantially over time, thank you so much. Appreciate that. I love geese. Unless you think our DNA has changed substantially over time, i.e. evolution, then you're committed to the view that God made it this way. God made it in a way that is intentionally useless.
So you have a very if one person believes this, everybody believes this. Not everybody.
Yeah, gotcha. Do you believe in evolution?
Sorry. The middle of my sentence interrupted the beginning of yours.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. Do you believe in evolution?
But let me just say that not every Christian believes the same things. That's why there's other different orthodoxes and different types of religion, like Catholic, like Christian, Baptist.
Thank you so much.
Sorry, did I interrupt you again? My fault.
Oh, it was just the gifter.
So how about this? So how about you try to let me finish? I know it's hard for you because you think you're.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna take debate advice from you. You're getting bodied right now.
Oh, yeah.
You're getting slammed so hard you're probably concussed. You have no idea what point you're even trying to respond to. I bet you don't even remember the question that I asked you.
So not all Christians obviously believe the same things. The only thing that we Christians, why we call ourselves Christians, is because we believe that God sent His Son to die on the cross for our sins. That is why we believe. That is all you need to get into heaven. That's all you need. The rejection of the Spirit is the only unforgivable sin. So you do know that there are Christian scientists. You do know.
What was my question, and how do you think that answered it?
Oh no, I wasn't answering.
You weren't answering my question. Yeah, that's fine. I'll ask the question again. Do you believe in evolution?
Fine. Or let me finish. So I was just letting you know that just because I am a Christian doesn't mean I disagree with everything in science. That is fact. That's factually,
Bonk.
and you're honestly just being dishonest with yourself just by saying all these Christians believe the same thing. So you try to like talk over everybody to make them sound stupid when in actuality you're probably just insecure with your own.
Yeah. When in actuality you do that plenty well just on your own. Thank you so much, Neurospicy. Appreciate that. So are you interested in answering the question? Do you believe in evolution?
No.
Gotcha. So then the critique applies exactly the same, and all you did was cry and mope for a little while. So why would God make 85% of our DNA functionless? Honk. Thank you so much, Petus. Appreciate that.
How do you get that number?
Oh, this comes from a study. Are you interested?
Oh, sure, yeah. Show me.
Yeah, what is it? Where the heck?
Waiting.
It is an upper limit on the functional fraction of the human genome. This is in the Journal of Genome Biology and Evolution by Dan Grar. The bottom line of the abstract, mutational load considerations lead to the conclusion that the functional fraction within the human genome cannot exceed 15%. So why would God make 85% of our DNA useless?
No, I could just easily find something that disproves that too.
Yeah, go ahead and find something that disproves that. Go for it. Find the thing that says 100% of our DNA is useless. Go for it.
I never said
Or that 100% of our DNA does something. You're unfortunately not going to be able to do that just because the way that our DNA works is that it replicates itself and it mutates very often, which means lots of things are just completely useless. There are also parasitic mobile elements which just replicate themselves. They just create more and more copies of themselves. 5% of your DNA is considered like repetitive, i.e. 90% of these repetitive elements are just the same sequence over and over and over and over and over again. Just the same sequence repeated. 5% of your DNA is this repetitive form. You're just not going to find anything that says that accounts for all of these useless contributors to our DNA. So I'm super curious. What's the study that you're going to produce?
So I'm just first, like I'm on my phone, so obviously I can't go on to a study right now.
Gotcha. Yeah, but one definitely exists. Everyone believes you.
Everybody.
Yaris, thank you so. Or Yaviris, thank you so much for the dinosaur. Appreciate that. Big W Ivorus in the comment section.
But you know,
do you got anything else?
No, I'm just trying to figure out like do you honestly think you're like good at debating?
Yes. Yeah, extremely. Yeah, you got slammed. Yeah, I think I'm incredible at debating. Probably one of the best on this app. Yeah, absolutely.
You're condescending? Is that
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, some people deserve to be condescended to. Yeah.
All right, bro. All right, you have a good day.
Yeah, you as well. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, dropping that follow as well. If you want to support the stream, the Venmo's allegedly -Ian Cash App is just allegedly Ian. Oh fuck, I forgot. I totally could have busted out, but in college I ended third in the nation in college competitive debate. So yeah, I think I am pretty good at debate, in fact. But make sure you're sharing it with your friends, dropping a follow, doing all that good stuff. If you want to support the stream, Venmo's allegedly -Ian Cash App is just allegedly Ian. Got to read out the new donos. All right, let's see it. On Cash App. Okay, wait. It's just gonna be one on, or I think there's like a couple on Venmo. Sorry, it logged me out automatically. That sucks. Donald, thank you so much for the $4 or for the $40 on Venmo. I love you too. Huge W, Donald. $40 is incredible. I appreciate the heck out of that. Philip, thank you so much. I like my Christians. Well done. Keep cooking. Hail, Philip. Hail 666. Hail Satan. Big W, Philip, in that comment section. I appreciate the hell out of you. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you are 18 or older, that you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran, and you have an argument which does not involve personal experience. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen, dropping that follow as well. If you're 18 or older and you want to join the community, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. I'd love nothing more than to see you there. It's a great place. We talk politics, religion, and philosophy, and I notify you every time I go live. Hey, what's up? How's it going? I can't hear you. You're like a million miles away from your phone. On to the next one. Thank you so much, Ishana. Appreciate that. Yeah, we do a reading club as well in the book club. Someone said that the reading actually helped them in a debate against a Christian. So if you're interested in learning more about philosophy, consider joining the Discord. Hey, what's up? How's it going, Rico? Hello? Okay. Oh fuck. Gosh, I hate that. Whatever. We move. Yeah, sorry it's taking so long. Damn. Yeah, just keep on double tapping on that screen sharing with your friends. If you want to support the stream, Venmo's allegedly -Ian. Cash App is just allegedly Ian. Oop. Damn, I accept your surrender, guest. Folded like a chair, scrambled like an omelet, reformatted like a hard drive. Get your ankles shattered, you will never debate again. Hey, what's up? How's it going, Joe? Joe? Joseph?
Hello?
Hey, what's up? How's it going? How old are you?
I'm 23.
And what religion?
I'm a Christian.
Gotcha. What's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
So I wanted to talk a bit about the Leviticus verse that you were referencing.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
And I'd very much like to have a positive debate. I'm not looking to argue with you or anything like that.
Yeah, sounds good. So do you think it was good when God said that you can own people as property?
I don't think it's in the context that you've been putting it across, and let me explain why I think that. Because when God gave the Ten Commandments to the people before Leviticus was written, it was rules how he wanted those people to live. Leviticus was written afterwards, and the people of the other nations were living however they wanted. They had slaves, they also did human sacrifice, they did a lot of different things. Now, my belief and hypothesis is that God was giving them rules on what they could partake in of the world and what they couldn't partake.
Yeah, gotcha.
I believe
So why did
personally
God think that they should partake in slavery? Why was that one of the things that God said that they could partake in? Why would that be the case?
Well, he wanted to build up Israel. And the thing is, as well, when you say slavery, you're going from the context of American belief, of not American perspective of slavery. Because looking online, it's more translated roughly in the Hebrew to servant, not slave.
No, wait, so can you beat your servants? Are your servants your possessions?
Well, it also says in the Old Testament to stone people as well, but I'm going to have a debate about that.
Yeah, wait, but we're just, I don't want to pivot to something else. I just want to focus on the word slave. Slave means owning someone as a possession. It says that you can own people as possessions and that you can beat them. It's very clearly talking about slavery. You can't beat servants. You don't own servants. These are slaves.
Then why is the translation from Hebrew more closely related to servant than slave?
It is more closely related to slave, which is why it talks about them being your possession, your property, and that you can give them to your children as a possession.
Okay, are there any other references on how they should be tracked?
Yeah, they say that you can beat them, just not too hard.
Not so they die. I think I heard you mention that earlier.
Yeah, exactly. You can beat them, just not too hard. Wait, but I have a question for you. So, was it good that God said that you can own slaves? Was that good?
I think it's fair that God's allowing people to punish people for doing wrong.
Punish people?
He wanted the Israelites to punish each other if they broke the Ten Commandments. He clearly gave the commandment to stone them. So God's all for punishment, because punishment is just and right.
So wait, who's so you think like the people from the nations around you are being punished?
I think we're all punished in certain ways, brother.
Do you think slavery is an acceptable punishment?
But what slavery? Are you referring to the slavery of the modern day?
Did I say the slavery of the modern day? I'm referring to owning people as property, owning people as possessions, beating people with rods. Do you think that that's morally good to beat your slaves with a rod?
I think it's morally just to hand out punishments to people.
Yeah, wait. So in what circumstances do you think slaves deserve to get beaten with rods? What circumstances do you think would warrant a slave getting beaten with a rod? Go for it.
In the terms of the Bible, disobedience to the people who owned them.
Gotcha. So you think it's morally just for slave masters to beat their slaves? Gotcha.
Well, if you want to talk about morally just, did you want me to? You can ask me if I think it's morally just that people are stoned to death.
Yeah, wait, I'm not interested in that. Do you think it's morally just that God said that you can own humans as slaves?
I mean, from the context of the times they were living in, they were partaking in what was going on around them.
Yeah, but was it
Didn't he also?
so?
Didn't he
Which is
also say to? Didn't he also say to treat them better than they was treated when they was treating their foreign lands that they came from?
Yeah, so there's lots of ways that you can treat some slaves better than other slaves. Slavery is still wrong. So my question is quite simple. Which is worse, eating shellfish or owning
My
slaves?
point is that God never said to enslave people. He saw what was going on in the world, and he gave his followers rules in what they should partake in and how they should treat people in the world. He knew they were going to get slaves anyway, so he gave them
Do you think it's
commandments on
moral?
how to treat.
Or wait. So
God, God,
I want to be clear. I want to be clear.
God,
Do you think it's
God doesn't
moral
say.
to own slaves even if you personally didn't enslave them? Do you think it's moral to buy slaves?
Not in the day and age we live in, but we're
Do you
talking
think
about a
it
time that was.
was it ever moral to buy slaves? Was that ever a moral thing?
No, but the Israelite people were not always moral people. That's
Oh,
why
gotcha. Wait,
Jesus
wait,
came.
oh, perfect. Okay, wait. So premise one. Owning people as property is immoral. Premise two, God said that you could own people as property. Conclusion, God said something immoral. Which premise do you reject?
I reject that he said immoral because he's giving them rules on what they should do and how they should treat people.
Wait.
It says in the
I'm so sorry.
Bible that
I'm so sorry. That's the conclusion.
it
That's the
says
conclusion.
that the slaves should be treated better than their
Wait.
foreign slave masters
I'm so
have
sorry.
treated them.
I'm so sorry. That's the conclusion. I need you to reject one of the two premises. Do you reject that owning people is immoral,
But
or do you
we're not
reject
going.
that God said you can
We're
own
not,
people?
brother, we're not going deep
Do you
into the
wait?
debate.
I'm not gonna let you not answer this question, Joe. You're not gonna be a dodging Daniel. So do you believe that owning people is immoral, or do you reject that owning people is immoral, or do you reject that God said that you can own people? Which of those do you reject?
I reject that owning people is immoral. I do not
You
reject
reject that
that.
owning people, so you think it's sometimes moral to own people? In what
Listen,
circumstances is it moral to
the
own
point that
people?
I've got from listening to you is that you're saying God has
And
told people
I'm so
to
sorry.
enslave other
In what
people.
circumstance? In what circumstance is it moral to own people?
But where does it say that God has said enslave these people?
Wait. In what
It
circumstance
comes.
is it moral? In what
It
circumstance is
comes.
it? Wait. In what circumstance is it moral to
We're
own
talking
people?
about we're
I'm
talking
not gonna
about the
let you pivot
Bible.
away from this, Joe. I'm not gonna let you
But we're
pivot
talking.
away. In what
Yeah, but
circumstance is it moral to
we're
own
talking about
people?
the Bible, right?
Wait,
Aren't we? We're not talking about objective morality. We're talking about the
wait,
morality of the
Joe. I
Bible
just
and
want to
what is
know.
in the Bible.
In your morality, in what circumstance is it acceptable to own people? When is that fine?
In 2024, I'd say not. But back then, it even says in the Hebrew,
So,
servant,
Joe,
not slave, as a
well,
literal slave
it
and
doesn't say
starved to
that.
death.
Wait, are your servants a possession?
The servants were treated morally. They were
Are
beaten when
servants
they
possessions?
disobeyed,
Do you beat
and the Israelite
servants?
people were
Are
also stoned
servants
to death when they
possessions? Do you
disobeyed
beat
the word.
servants? Are servants possessions? Do you beat servants?
Right, well, why don't we go back to old style England where I think
That's a yes or no
in
question,
1800.
Joe. It's a yes or no question. Are servants possessions? Do you beat servants?
Can you repeat that? You didn't come through.
Yeah. Are
Our
servants
servants
possessions? Do you beat servants?
in 2024, no, you do not beat
Ever.
servants.
Are servants ever a possession?
Servants are handed down through families and they serve families, don't they? Is this not what happened
Wait, but
hundreds of years
that's
ago?
referring to like employment, like you get paid. These people don't get paid; they're property. Servants are
They
not
were
property.
housed,
Wait.
they
I'm so
were
sorry.
housed, they were
Wait,
fed,
let's
they were
just
given
get
water, they
very
were
clear on the
clothed.
definitions. So I take a slave to be when a human being is your property. Do you disagree that a slave is when a human being is your property?
No, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah. So, and do you disagree that these human beings were property?
No.
So then you agree that these human beings were slaves?
It says slaves in the Bible, but we're talking about the
What?
Hebrew as well.
No. Wait, it's not. I'm not talking about from the Bible. You agree that a slave is a person owned as property, and you agree that these were people owned as property. So you agree that these were slaves.
Yes, I do agree.
Gotcha. Perfect. Finally, we got the concession. So, in what circumstance do you think slavery is moral?
I don't think it's moral, but the point I'm trying to get across is that they were enslaved anyway, and God said you can take them from their foreign lands where they were definitely treated a lot worse than how God has told them to be treated, and he has let them be treated better.
So gotcha. Wait. So I just have two premises for you. Premise one is that slavery is immoral. Premise two is that God said you could do slavery, that you could buy people as
But
slaves.
you've just completely refuted the point I made about there were slaves
Well,
already.
I'm just gonna need you to we're gonna go back to the premises. Which premise do you reject? Do you reject that slavery is immoral, like you said 5 minutes ago, or do you reject that God said slavery is a thing that you can do, like it says in the Bible? Do you reject the Bible, or do you reject your basic moral intuitions?
I reject my moral intuitions, mate, because I'm
Gotcha.
not a
So
good
you
moral
think that
person myself.
wait. So you were lying 5 seconds ago when you say that slavery is immoral? You were
Yeah,
lying?
but you're not looking at the context of how
Wait.
it's
Were you
presented in the
lying five
Bible.
seconds ago? Were you lying?
Brother, can we talk about the context
Was
of the
wait.
text?
Were you lying?
Not
Because
my moral
five
beliefs or
seconds ago,
your
five
moral
seconds ago, you
beliefs.
said slavery is
I
immoral. Were
want to
you
talk about
lying?
the context
Were you
of
lying when you
Leviticus, not.
said 5 seconds ago that slavery is immoral? Yes or no? Were you lying? Yes or
I
no?
do think slavery is immoral, but I didn't live 2,000
Gotcha. Wait.
years
So
ago with
then
the
you agree with the
Israelites.
first premise that slavery is immoral. Perfect. So you agree that slavery is immoral, and do you agree that God said that you can own slaves in the Bible?
I agree with that, but I agree with also that it's
So
not
then you
immoral for
agree that
God to
God
take.
said an immoral thing.
No. Listen, let me finish. I also agree with that. It's not immoral that God said to the Israelites, "You can take these slaves from a foreign land where they are treated worse, and you can come and treat them better. You can treat them better than where they're being treated in the foreign lands." I
That's
don't
so
think
nice.
that's
Wait.
immoral. I
So do
think
you
that is
acknowledge
very
that God
moral.
said that you can do an immoral thing?
How is it immoral to take someone from a worse
How
situation
is
and
it
put them in a
immoral to
better
own
one?
slaves?
How is it immoral to take someone from a worse situation and bring them to a better one and treat them better
Yeah,
than they
wait,
have
so
been
what's
treated in a
the
foreign land?
because God
What's
could have
immoral
added a
about that?
commandment. God could have added a commandment that says, you may buy these slaves from the foreign land and then set them free. Why didn't God say you must set them free after you buy them? Why wouldn't God say that?
God gave us the original Ten Commandments, and He let us do with our free will what we did,
You're
what
not
we
going to
would.
answer it.
What,
Oh no, you got caught. So you gave the
no,
biggest non-answer of all time.
I
Free
will
will has
I will
nothing to
make
do
it.
with this. Wait. This is God giving laws on your conduct and guidance. This is not an issue of free will that you have the free will to do it. So wait. Actually, I have a question for you. Do you take it to mean that God means that you have the free will to purchase the people around you, but you don't have the free will to purchase the Israelites? Is that what you take God to be meaning?
God was speaking to the Israelites, not to me, brother. He was telling them
Well,
how to treat each
I'm
other.
so sorry. I'm so sorry. What question did I just ask you?
Repeat it.
Yeah,
I'm getting
gotcha.
lost in
Answering a question you didn't even listen to. Let's try this one more time.
I'm getting lost in
Do you
translation with
take
you,
it to
just
be the
going
case
back and
that when
forth.
God says you can own slaves from the nations around you, but you can't own each other, that he's saying you have the free will to own slaves from the nation around you, but you don't have the free will to own other Israelites? Do you think that that's what God's saying?
Yes, yeah, I agree with the text.
Wait. So wait, in what way? In what way did they not have the free will to own each other as slaves?
Does it not say in the text to treat your Israelite brothers and sisters different?
But that's wait. I thought it was free will.
Yeah,
Did they
free
have the
will.
free will to go against these commands?
Yeah, yes, they did, and that's why Jesus came
Gotcha. So
down.
then it doesn't make sense to say that you don't have the free will to own each other as slaves, because they did have the free will to own each other as slaves.
I didn't say they didn't have the free will to do that. I said God told them not to do that. What God says
You
and what
literally
people do are
just
two
said that
different
they
things.
did have the free will. You literally just said that like 5 seconds ago. You're like, we got a gaslighting Gary over here. The fuck? Do you not hear yourself contradicting yourself over and over again?
I really just wanted to make a point about the
Yeah, no,
Leviticus
I'm
text
sure you probably do want to move away from this, yeah.
No, I want to go back to my original point on God was telling the Israelite people, you can take these slaves from a foreign land where they're being treated worse,
Yeah, so
and
why didn't
treat them
God say
better.
that you must release them?
Because literally every society back then had slaves that would have caused all-out war. The Israelites probably would have been murdered for even trying to free all the slaves.
Yeah, yeah.
If they're
So
dumb,
wait, I just want to be clear. Wait. So
if the
God had no
Israelite
problem.
nation went and tried
Every
to free,
nation on earth was eating shrimp, but God had no problem saying no shrimp.
listen, bro, I don't want to go to the shrimp point. I'm going to make a point with you on what you just
Yeah,
said,
I
right?
know you
What
don't
you,
want that point because it
no,
tears
no,
your
no,
entire
no, no, no,
worldview in
no.
half. That God thought
No,
that it was worse to eat shrimp than he thought it was to
no.
own slaves.
Listen, bro, you just said, why did God not tell them to go free everyone? Because God's not an idiot. If the Israelite nation went to every
That's
other
not what I
nation and tried
said.
to
You're not
free,
listening.
if
That's not what I
no,
said.
you
That's
literally
not
just
what I
said,
said at all.
why did God not give it a
What
commandment
I
to free
asked,
all the
wait,
slaves?
so why didn't God say
You
that you
said, why
can't
did
beat
God not
them?
give a commandment to free all
Why
the
didn't
slaves?
God say
Did you
that you
not just
can't
say
beat
that?
them? Why didn't God say that you can't beat them?
For disobedience? If someone
Yeah.
disobeys you, then there's going to be if you disobey anything, if you disobey the law, there's
Do
going
you
to be
think
a
it's
punishment.
moral to beat kids for disobedience?
Where does it say that the slaves were children?
Well, I'm just asking you, wait, because you think that beating is an
No, I
appropriate
don't
punishment
know.
for disobedience. So I just want to know, do you think it's morally acceptable to beat kids?
I didn't say. I said there's a punishment for disobedience. I didn't say
Yeah,
beating
gotcha. Wait, so do you
in
think that some
particular, did I?
punishments for disobedience are unjust?
I think there's a punishment fits every crime, brother. There's a
Gotcha.
punishment for
Wait. So,
everything.
do you think that it's just to beat kids?
No, I don't think it's just to beat
Yeah, well, but
children.
what if they're disobedient?
Then you punish them in a different way, as do many
Yeah, and you can
parents.
punish the slaves in a different way.
In what way, brother? With sticks and
Yeah,
stones.
whatever
What
way
could
you're
you do?
punishing kids, you can just punish your slaves in that way. Wouldn't that be a more moral thing for God to have said?
Right, so a fully grown man who is someone's servant, he's going to take a punishment of being put on the naughty step.
Wait,
Because let's not get
do
it
you think at
wrong,
work?
these slaves were probably fully grown men.
Wait,
They're
yeah,
probably going to
I'm
cause
so
a
sorry.
fight with the
Do you think at
Israelites.
work that they should? Do you think they should beat you at work?
No, I don't get beaten at work.
Gotcha. Do you think it would be ethical to give your slaves chemical burns?
No, but there are some people
Why
that
would it?
I
Why would it
swear to
be
God.
ethical to beat your slaves, but it wouldn't be ethical to give your slaves chemical burns? Why not?
I said it is right for someone to be punished for disobedience.
Yeah.
Why are
So
we
would it be
talking
right to
specifically
punish them
about
by
giving
giving
them a
them chemical burns?
I don't. What have they done?
They've
It's
been
a bro.
disobedient.
You're talking about a medieval time, and when
Yeah,
Jesus came back,
So I'm just asking, would it be
when
just
Jesus came
to
back,
punish
it
your
says in the
slaves
New
by giving them
Testament.
chemical burns? Would that have been
It says
just?
in the New Testament, bro, when Jesus came
Would
back, which is in the same Bible you're referring
would it have
to.
been just to give
You're
them
just talking
chemical
about
burns? Would that
Old
have been
Testament.
just?
Jesus said, "I want you to love each other as
Would
you
it
love
have been
yourself."
just to give your slaves chemical burns? Is that just?
I'm not going to answer that question because you
Yeah,
literally
because
just
you know that
right.
the answer tears your worldview in half. Because you know that if you answer it, do you think not answering the question, saying out loud, "I'm not answering this question,"
I
makes
want to
your
know
worldview look
why you won't
robust?
talk to me
Wait,
about.
you are literally
No.
one
Let
question
me
away
ask
from
you a
your entire
question.
worldview collapsing,
No, let
and
me ask you a question because it's still about Leviticus.
that you
I
are
haven't peed any. I
one
haven't
question
moved
away
on to
from your
any other
worldview
thing other than
collapsing, which is why you don't
Leviticus.
answer the one question. You're
I want to
scared.
ask you about
You're scared.
Leviticus. Is it moral? Is it moral or is it immoral that God said to the Israelite people, "You can take these people who are slaves anyway and are being trapped very horribly. You can bring them into your land and they can serve you, and you have to treat them a lot better. But if they disobey you, you can punish them." Is that immoral, or is that moral that God took
No,
them out of the
that's
land
immoral.
already?
Engaging in an immoral action is immoral, actually. So if you see like a purse on the sidewalk, and you know that if you don't steal it, someone else will. That doesn't mean that it's moral to steal the purse and then put some of the money back where you found it and then keep on moving. Engaging in an immoral action is immoral. Newsflash.
I mean, good point. I might have to recheck my sources.
Well, do you got anything else for me?
Um, No, to be honest, one question out of curiosity: have you ever tried religion yourself, or is it just something
Yeah,
you've
I was
never
born a
really been?
Christian, yeah. And then I discovered
And
logic.
you was raised a Christian.
Yeah, I was.
Was you just raised as that, or did you ever actually engage with it yourself,
Oh, I was
or
just
were you
raised
just
that. I
taught the
never actually
beliefs?
engaged with it. No, they took me to
You
the
never
fucking church every Sunday,
but
and
you
it was
never like
boring.
engaged with it on a personal level.
Yeah, wait, but I'm probably just gonna move on to the next guest. I'm not really interested in talking about like personal whatever. I think it's kind of irrelevant. What I'm looking for is debates. If you have a convincing argument, I'm not interested in forming a relationship with a god if I don't know that they exist. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen though, sharing it with your friends, doing all this good stuff. Making sure you're dropping that follow. Onto the gifters. The gifters. What do we got? Cyber, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Venmo. Hail, Cyber. Hail, 666. And a big hail, Satan. I appreciate the hell out of it. On Cash App. We got Jaren, thank you so much for the $1 on Cash App. Big W, Jaren, and a huge W, Cyber. I appreciate the fuck out of that. But make sure you're double tapping on that screen. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older, you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran, and you have an argument which does not involve personal experience. If you don't meet that criteria, then I'm not going to talk to you. And with that, we'll go to the very next guest. Or actually, before that, if you want to join the community, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. You can go play bingo. For the good afternoon. Appreciate that. So just keep on double tapping on that screen, getting this all the way up to 200K as we go to the next guest. What's up, Navi?
What's up, man?
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 24.
And, excuse me, what religion?
Christian.
Gotcha. What's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that my strongest, which I'm not, strong personally in, but have heard it be strongly presented, would be the transcendental argument.
Gotcha. Give the argument.
So have you heard of tags? So do we know what we're working with here?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so it's just going to be a presuppositionalist argument. And
Yeah,
it
gotcha.
also questions the skeptic's argument as well with your basis of knowledge, foundation for logic and all of those things, right?
Yeah, so what makes this a good presupposition? Why would you want to presuppose a book that is riddled with contradictions and says that slavery is cool?
Yeah, so interestingly enough, I've listened to multiple of your contradictions. I've kind of been in and out of your stream a lot. In the beginning, I thought you sounded smart, but now I just think you just sound arrogant and like.
Yeah, I'm not really interested in your debate advice.
Yeah, that's fine, but honestly, theologically speaking, you need some help, really.
Yeah, wait, that's so interesting. Wait, you're so theologically inept that you can't even give the argument. What's premise one of the transcendental argument?
Well, I can't tell you premise one, but I can.
Yeah, no, you have no fucking idea. Do you want me to give you premise one of the transcendental argument? So premise one is that if X, where X is any proposition, then God exists. X, therefore God exists. That's the transcendental argument.
Right. And I can sum that up in some words, but in a premise, probably not. But that doesn't show any kind of.
Yeah, gotcha. So go ahead and prove that if a premise is true, if any premise is true, then God exists. Go ahead and prove that.
But again, theologically speaking, yeah, you need help.
Yeah, wait, I'm not going to take debate advice from you. You don't even know the premises of your own argument.
That's fine. I just said that.
Yeah. So what's the argument for premise one that if a proposition is true, then God exists? What's the argument for that?
Yeah. So obviously, it's the fact that you have no foundation for your knowledge.
Oh, okay, gotcha. And could you demonstrate that foundation for knowledge is impossible under a worldview where God doesn't exist?
Yeah, so shifting the burden of proof is fine with me, but
you literally said that you'd give the argument. It's not. You are literally trying to shift the burden of proof.
Yeah, so the obvious claim is that you have no foundation because you cannot prove any foundation.
Yeah, go ahead and prove that claim.
So in the theistic worldview, there is a better foundation for logic.
Yeah, go ahead and prove that claim. What's the argument?
Than any atheistic explanation.
Yeah, go ahead and prove that claim. What's the argument?
Yeah, so again, you're shifting the burden of proof.
I'm not. It's your way. You're literally making the argument. I'm just asking you to prove your premises.
Yeah, so let's.
You don't even understand your own argument.
Yeah, so absolutely, I do actually.
You said my strongest argument is the transcendental argument for God. I asked you for the first premise. You didn't know it, so I gave it to you. I gave you your own first premise. And then I asked you for the justification for your first premise. Why is your first premise true? And you said, well, you're shifting the burden of proof. That's not true. You are.
No, what I said firstly, and just because I'm not presenting it, with a logical syllogism doesn't mean that I can't explain the argument in its fullness. The entire claim that I'm making is that you have no foundation. Just giving the argument a title, to your skepticism, you have no foundation in logic, in knowledge, in anything. Through the naturalistic worldview, you have nothing to explain where these metaphysical properties come from. The best explanation is God.
Yeah, so so you're making the affirmative claim. What's your argument for the affirmative claim?
Can you talk in layman terms? Because I'm not.
Yeah, so the person who makes the claim about reality has the burden of proof. So you made the claim that atheism has no foundation for things like logic or morality. So I'm just asking you, because you made the affirmative claim, you made the claim, it's your burden to prove that atheism has no foundation.
So me saying you have nothing in a infinite regression, how do I show you infinite regression? How do I show you nothingness? That's
your burden.
That you have nothing for that.
Well, wait. How do you know that I have nothing?
Let me rephrase in a question. Where is your foundation for logic?
Wait. So do you see what happened just now?
Yeah, you use mental gymnastics to try and get through the transcendental argument.
Wait, that's really, really nice. No, what actually happened is that you shifted the burden. I asked you for justification for one of your premises, and you asked me, well, what's your justification? Well, what is your foundation? That's really nice. You literally just shifted the burden of proof.
No, I'm rephrasing the
Every
question.
time you ask somebody a question
to
prove one of your premises, you're shifting the burden of proof.
Well, listen, just because you have some degree or some extra studies in logic and how things like that work doesn't mean that you're on any kind of high ground. You play these mental gymnastics in your live and try and confuse the guests, and you have no understanding of theology whatsoever.
I think you're actually quite confused. You don't understand the burden of proof. You don't understand any part of your own argument.
Well,
you didn't even know your own syllogism.
Yeah, philosophy is a very large study that takes many years to really get down, so that's fine. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, so I'll give you a lesson right now.
If you real interesting, but
if you make the affirmative claim, you need to give an argument for the affirmative claim.
Yeah. So my argument is you have nothing.
Yeah, and I'm asking you, what's the justification? What's the proof of that argument? Go ahead and give me the argument for that premise.
Again, the naturalistic worldview has no explanation to where these.
Prove it.
How do you want me to prove that?
It's your claim. That's your burden.
So saying something doesn't exist, and then I restructured and I asked you the question: what is your foundation for logic?
Yes, exactly. You're shifting the burden.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So this is. Oh, so you're fine with shifting the burden? To be clear.
Sure.
Gotcha. And you're calling me philosophically and theologically inept.
No, I said theologically.
Okay, gotcha. So you're calling me theologically inept, and you admit that you're just shifting the burden.
Sure, let's do that.
Okay, gotcha. I'm not going to let you shift the burden. Give the proof.
Yeah, so it's not going to happen.
You can't. So just to be clear, you can't prove your argument.
It's obvious that you have no structure for knowledge.
It's not obvious at all. I have tons of knowledge.
Things come naturally.
Wait. So, yeah, okay. I'll give you a piece of knowledge, and you can tell me how it's not possible to know this under naturalism. When I feel happy, I feel happy.
What I'm saying is the metaphysical.
Wait. Do I know that when I feel happy that I feel happy? Do I know that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, gotcha. Wait. So, how can I? In what way am I not able to account for the fact that when I feel happy, I feel happy? I'm quite literally experiencing it.
So you're again going through mental gymnastics. I find the atheists do this a lot.
What's the mental gymnastic? Wait, nobody cares about the meta commentary. Wait. I don't know why you're doing meta commentary. You're literally getting slammed in this discussion right now. You didn't know your own syllogism. You didn't realize that you were shifting the burden of proof, and then you got folded on it so hard that you accepted that you're shifting the burden of proof.
Dealing with layman's,
I'm just not interested in this burden shifting.
That's fine. You're dealing with layman's and using all of these extracurricular words. It's kind of lame. If you want to have a real,
I'm not going to take debate advice from you. You're getting slammed.
It's not debate advice. It's the fact that you're using mental gymnastics to try and win the argument.
I'm not going to take philosophical advice from you. You didn't even know your own argument.
Yeah, you have nothing.
This is just armchair psychology. Wait, do you want some more fun armchair psychology? I'll give you an argument.
Sure.
Premise 1: if God exists, then I know that He exists. Premise 2: I don't know that He exists. Conclusion: God doesn't exist.
No.
Yeah, which premise do you reject?
The second one. What'd you say on the second?
Oh wait,
premise?
wait. So we got a mind reading Mandy over here that
So are we gonna,
so
are we
you
gonna
think
talk
that
about
I
scripture or
do
go
think that
through
God exists. You are the
philosophical
opinion that I
gymnastics?
actually do think that God exists. Is that correct?
I'm not going to answer your question. Are we going to talk
Oh,
about
oh, you're not
scripture
going to
or go
answer the
through mental
question
gymnastics?
because you are philosophically
I
inept.
think
You are
you're worried about
way out
going
of
into
your
scripture
depth.
with me. I think you're really worried about going into scripture with me.
Wait. You literally said that you wanted to present the transcendental argument for God. No one's
No,
buying
you said,
it.
what's your best argument?
I
I would
asked
say
you what
that
your
that's
best
my
argument
best
was.
argument.
You said the transcendental argument for God. So we walked through the transcendental argument. You got slammed on it. So I gave you an argument. You got bodied on it. You literally had to admit, I'm not answering any of your questions when I try to give you an argument. And now finally you're saying you don't want to go to the scripture with me. I will
been saying that from the
gladly.
beginning.
I will
I said
gladly go to the
you're
scripture with you.
embarrassing.
You never said
Theologically, you're
what
embarrassing.
you said at the beginning was that you wanted to go through the transcendental argument for God.
No, I didn't say I wanted to go through it. You said, what's your best argument? I said the transcendental argument tag, because you have no foundation for anything.
Yeah,
So,
gotcha.
and you
Wait,
wanted
so
to
that's
break
so
it down
cool.
by
Yeah, so you got
syllogisms.
folded on that,
Nobody
and then
wanted
I
to go
gave
into
you an
that in the
argument,
first
got
place.
folded on that one too. So,
Yeah, so
do you have a new argument that you want to give?
no, I want to talk about scripture. I want to talk about
Scripture's an
your
argument.
misinterpretation, misunderstanding.
You are philosophically and theologically illiterate. Scripture is literally an argument if you can prove the truth of Scripture.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of truth claims within scripture, but I specifically want to talk about your contentions, which have been
The slavery?
slavery, the commands made in 1 Samuel, anything. I mean, we can start with slavery, to be honest.
Yeah, wait, yeah, sounds good. Yeah, let's do slavery.
Yeah.
Are you of the opinion that slavery is wrong?
In all contexts, no.
Oh, and what context do you think slavery is chill?
Yeah, so when we're comparing slavery to modern terms versus
Wait, that's I didn't fucking
legitimate-
ask. What context do you think slavery is chill?
Yeah, so I'm giving the explanation in my answer.
Yeah, I said nothing about modern times. I'm just asking
Yeah.
you, when is slavery chill?
So if there's a dichotomy between modern times, wouldn't there be an answer in that on why there would be a context?
No, nobody brought up modern times. Slavery just means
Okay,
owning
in
people
my
as a
argument,
possession.
I am though, Ian.
Yeah, gotcha. Wait, so is it to explain that you think it's fine in modern times?
No, I absolutely
Because
don't
if
think
it's
it
not
is.
to say that you think
We
it's
have a
fine in
different
modern times,
understanding of
you can
modern
leave out
slavery.
this stuff about modern times and just
Yeah.
jump right to the stuff where you actually
Well,
think
because
that it's acceptable.
our closest, experience with slavery has been the slave Atlantic.
Yeah, so when I say
trade.
slavery, all I mean is owning a person as property.
Okay, so we can define those things. Owning a person as property, obviously, had it been done in Scripture, would be fine in Scripture. Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. So in what
So in the
scenarios do you think
context
owning a
of-
person as property is fine?
To pay off a debt, maybe.
Gotcha. Do you okay, gotcha. So what's the scripture verse that says that all these people were indebted?
So it actually doesn't. It specifically says
Oh, it
you can
doesn't.
you can own people after a war has taken place for their ancestry, basically.
Gotcha. Wait, so why would I infer that this is for debt when that doesn't seem to be the case at all?
But you question when it would be, so I gave the answer, right?
Yeah,
So there's
okay, gotcha.
obviously
Wait.
now
So
a
do you
different-
acknowledge that the
there's
slavery in the Bible is that
definitions
are there
made
any
for
other
slavery.
circumstances where slavery is acceptable?
I couldn't give you a full answer. In my opinion, no. But if that's not the opinion of God, then that's not the opinion of God. But I
Gotcha. So
can
then you
tell
would just be
fully.
disagreeing with God. That's totally fine. So
Well, again, I said I don't know
in-
his opinion
in
fully,
the
but
in
if
the
I go off
Bible.
the context of Scripture, I can tell you one thing is he didn't command it to happen first. In the Old Testament, we're dealing with a fallen world. And also, I think it's interesting how you go to Judeo
Why didn't God
texts
say
to
no slaves?
Christianity, which is interesting to me as well.
Why didn't God say no slaves?
Actually, in the New Testament, it says there are neither slave nor free.
Why? Wait, was God right? Was it good in the Old Testament when God said that you can own slaves? Was that good?
Define good.
However you define it, it's an internal critique, big dog.
Define good. You just
It's
asked
an
me a
internal
question.
critique, however you define it.
Okay, re-ask your question then.
Yeah, was it good when God said that you can own slaves?
Will you allow me to say I don't know?
Is everything that God does good?
Oh, absolutely. But he
Yeah.
never commanded it. I already said that. He never commanded
No, but when
that.
he said when the law he put forward was that you can own slaves.
Did God put forth that law or did Moses?
Yeah, God did. Leviticus 25:1. The Lord said to Moses, and then all that stuff.
You said Leviticus 5:1, right?
25:1.
25:1. Yeah, this is talking about Sabbath.
Leviticus 25:1.
Yeah, the Lord spake to Moses on Mount Sinai, saying, "Speak to the."
Yeah, wait, you just gotta read all the way down to 44. It's all God throughout the entirety of it. It's God speaking to. Do you even know the context of Leviticus?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what's the context of Leviticus?
I mean, you have. It's the Levitical law. It's laying down. It's right before.
Yeah. Who is laying out the Levitical law to who?
It's God laying down the Levitical law to Moses.
Gotcha. So then when God says you can own slaves, I'm sorry, in Leviticus when it says, here are the laws around slaves, this is God telling Moses.
Well, so note, because in the New Testament, if we cross-reference, we have a scripture where Jesus says that Moses allowed divorce because their hearts were hardened. However, I tell you, so there's obviously a inference where Moses is the one laying down some laws, right? Because we have the 10
No,
Commandments,
this is who's being quoted?
The 637 or what it is.
Wait, this verse is in quotes. This verse is in quotes. Who's it quoting?
Okay, which one is it again? 41 or 42? Right?
44 through 46. Verses in quotes. Who's being quoted?
Yeah, so 44 is not quoted. Actually, it's 39 that's being quoted.
It is quoted. It's also in 44. 44 is also being quoted.
Oh yeah, there's no end quotes. You'd be right. If any of you can fall under difficulty and become dependent on you, you shall support them. Hold on, sorry.
It literally says in 55, they are my servants whom I brought out of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. Oh no. It literally finishes it by saying, like, what's up? I'm God.
Yeah, so there's no end quotes on that. So how do you inference that?
Yeah, wait, so when it says, I'm the Lord your God, who do you think is talking?
Where would the end quote be then, though?
55, when it says, I'm the Lord your God, who do you infer is talking? Who is talking when it says, I'm the Lord your God? Who's that?
Yeah,
Who's talking? Who's the speaker?
Yeah, it would be God, obviously. If he's
Gotcha,
saying
yeah.
God.
So,
but
if
this is coming onto another man, right? There's obviously, if Christ is saying in the New Testament that God or that Moses allowed this, then obviously Moses has some inference on or some influence on laws and what's taking place, and he's still a man.
It's a quote from God. It's God's quote. God is being quoted. It's literally God speaking.
Yeah, so I wouldn't agree that every single word for word in this manuscript is word for word what God is saying.
So there are lies in the Bible. The Bible contains falsehoods. The Bible misrepresents the word of God. Is that correct?
Well, there's documented times when that happens. Yeah.
Gotcha. Wait. So the Bible contains falsehoods.
No, it doesn't contain falsehoods. In
Oh, God. So then everything in the Bible is true.
Everything
in the Bible is true.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. So then it's true that God said all of 44 through 46.
Right, again, so I'm going to say this again, like I said earlier, we're looking at this in the context of a fallen world. And when I cross-reference to Jesus saying that Moses allowed this because their hearts were hardened, this is an obvious proof text to the fact that it was allowed because their hearts were hardened, meaning that it was a fallen world. So these things were taking place.
Wait, so, and I'm so sorry. Wait, so who is the person who gave the law?
It would be Moses. What law? Because you have
the law that says that you can own slaves. So wait. So I just want to be clear. So like 11 verses later when it says, I am the Lord your God, after non-stop straight quotes, you think that this is Moses talking?
I'd say that some of it is, yeah.
So which parts was Moses speaking? And can you find me, so if I let's just do like a quick Control F, Moses, how many times do you think the name Moses appears in Leviticus? When it says, the Lord said to Moses at Mount Sinai. This is not Moses speaking, this is God. If we
spoke to him, yeah.
If we do Lord, it appears 6 times. So we can the Lord said to Moses at Mount Sinai, must observe a Sabbath to the Lord, but in the 7th year the land is to have a year of Sabbath rest, a Sabbath to the Lord. I am the Lord your God. I am the Lord your God. I am the Lord your God. Those are the 6 occurrences of the Lord. So
Yep.
telling me that I'm theologically inept is laughable coming from you.
I mean, you still are, because again, I've already mentioned that this isn't laying down the initial law for owning slaves. It's actually more of a like an authority over it. It's putting a law to it. Like for instance, another scripture when it says you can't beat them, and if you beat them past or to the point where they're unalived, then you're to be put to unalivement.
No,
right?
it
So we're
says that
adding
you
laws
can
for
beat
things
them.
it says you can, but it says if you beat them to a point where they are unalived after I think like 3 days or something, then you're to be put to unalivement. So these are obvious things that are putting authority to things that are already taking place.
Yeah, that's totally cool. Wait,
Again,
so why
in the
didn't God
context
say
of
no
the fallen world.
slaves?
I don't think Scripture mentions it from Genesis to Revelation, but we have inference where everybody is equal under Christ. Like I said, there
Oh,
are
but
neither
it
free
just
nor
doesn't
slave.
mention it. Of course. Oh, yeah, it just doesn't mention it.
Again, we're dealing with the first century for the New Testament, and then upwards of 7,000 years before the first century. Like these are literal Stone Age. You believe that we come from fish who probably ate each other. Like what is your contention with it?
Wait, you have to pivot to my worldview because you know your worldview is completely indefensible.
No.
Wait,
we
because you
don't have
got
to pivot there.
folded
We're not
so
gonna
hard
speak
on your
about
own
it. I'm just making
holy
an
book.
inference.
You need to pivot and make a critique of my worldview. You no longer want the internal critique
No.
after it's
I'd love
torn
it.
your
We can
internals
continue
apart.
with multiple of them. I'll even give you some to
Wait.
have.
I'm just interested in this one. I want to see this one through.
Absolutely.
So, was it good when God said that you can own slaves?
Yeah, where's the direct quote where he says you can own slaves?
Yeah.
Because he's giving a law for how to own slaves, which was already happening. So it obviously wasn't.
No, he's saying, yeah. As for the male and female slaves whom you may have, it is from the nations around you that you may acquire male and female slaves. You may also acquire them from among the aliens residing with you and from their families who are with you, who have been born in your land. They may be your property. You may keep them as a possession for your children after you, for them to inherit as property. These you may treat as slaves, but as for your fellow Israelites, no one shall rule over the other with harshness. So this is God saying you can own slaves.
Let me ask you, was this happening worse or the same beforehand, before this
If
law?
you participate in a bad action, then that's bad.
I'm saying,
if I steal a purse, even if I know that if I don't steal it, someone else will, I did the bad action of stealing a purse.
So for one, I want to ask 2 questions here. For one, was this happening before this law was given, yes or no? Before Leviticus?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, but just wait. So just
God
because it was
wasn't
happening
commanding it to
before
initially
doesn't
happen.
mean that you can participate in it. If you participate in slavery, you're just doing slavery.
So had he snapped his finger and eliminated slavery, he'd be interjecting in our free will, right?
Yeah, wait, but you know what wouldn't be interjecting in our free will? If he said, "Thou shalt not own slaves." He said, as for the male and female slaves whom you may have, he could have said, as for the male and female slaves whom you may not have, like slavery is an abomination. All those who enter the kingdom of God will release their slaves immediately.
Yeah, so interestingly enough, in the New Testament, we have sources that say there are neither free nor slave under Christ, and that you should release your slaves. Or there's actually scripture that says slaves be good to your master and master be good to your slave. So obviously we're seeing this in a different context. This is why
that's just so nice. That's so nice.
Understanding of
was
slavery.
Was it good when God said that you can own slaves?
In the context of the scripture, yeah.
Gotcha. So you think that slavery in the context of the scripture was good? So
Sure,
you think that there are contexts where slavery is good?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So you're pro-slavery with an asterisk.
Yeah, no, you can straw man my position on that all you want.
It's literally your. We all heard it. It's literally your position.
In the beginning, I said,
I'm always against slavery. I think slavery is always bad. But you think that there are sometimes where actually owning people is chill. So I got a question for you. Do you think it's moral to beat slaves? Do you think that's morally acceptable?
So what's your definition of slavery then?
Owning a person as a possession.
Let's hone in on the definition. Okay, so are you not owned by the United States government?
No, I'm not. The United States government is never going to come and beat me with a rod. Now, do you think it's moral to beat a slave with a rod? Yeehaw. Thank you so much, Sir Tripslot. Appreciate it.
As a moral objectivist, I would say that is immoral.
Gotcha. Oh, so then God commanded an immoral thing.
Can you tell me where he commands him to?
Yeah, he says that it's okay for you to do this. He lays down an immoral law.
So again, if he's putting I can't think of the word I'm looking for. If he's putting barriers around what's already happening, it's not him commanding it. Again, you've conceded that he didn't initially command it. That it's happening before this command was given.
So what's the morally perfect statement? Is the morally perfect statement, thou shalt not beat your slaves? Or is the morally perfect statement, you can beat your slaves, but they need to recover after 1 or 2 days? Which is the morally perfect statement? Ace dude, thank you so much for the corgi. Appreciate it.
I wouldn't put words in the mouth of God if this is him directly quoting, which I disagree with every word. But what I would say that is there has to be punishment, and in the context of if there was not this happening, we wouldn't even be here today.
Yeah, wait. So would it be moral to give your slaves chemical burns?
Yeah, I heard you ask this earlier. Though I don't know why you're making
If it's okay to beat your slave with a rod, is it okay to give your slave chemical burns?
I would say no. I think
gotcha. So why is it okay to beat your slave with a rod, but it's not okay to give your slave chemical burns? What's the morally relevant distinction?
It's the intent behind it. You're being punished for. I mean, what is the slave being?
Whatever you'd punish them for by beating them with a rod, you punish them for by giving them chemical burns.
No, I mean that.
What's a thing that you think would be justified to beat your slave with a rod? In what context do you think it's okay to give your slave chemical burns?
I already said it's not.
Yeah. So whatever context you think it's okay to beat your slave with a rod in, you could just replace that with giving them chemical burns. So what's the morally relevant distinction between beating your slave with a rod and giving them chemical burns?
I said the intent already.
So what's the difference in intent? Why can't you just have the same intent doing the action?
If we're looking at it into the context of long-lasting pain or abuse or whatever it is, then it obviously says if they don't recover, then you should be put to death. So chemical burns would be a long-lasting thing, whereas if you're being beat, you're going to recover. So I mean, again, I'm not a slavery apologist. I'm not saying that I support slavery, especially not in the modern context. But if we're talking about ancient times, these people, there was indentured servitude. There was instances where war took place and they would capture the men and women. We're talking about ancient times. And I already said earlier, it's funny how you're taking Judeo law to disprove the Christian worldview, which is interesting to me.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like an easy contradiction. So according to Very Well Health, chemical burns can be as short as like 2 days long to recover. So if you give your slave a chemical burn and they recover within 2 days, would that be all right?
Okay, well, if you're putting acid versus bleach, then I mean, come on, like you're again generalizing it, and I think that you're being ambiguous with your terms, which is
Is it morally acceptable to give your slaves chemical burns as long as they recover in 2 days?
Did I not answer this already like 3 times, I think?
Yeah. So what's the relevant distinction?
Okay, so then you can ask for the symmetry breaker instead of asking the same question.
Yeah. What's the symmetry breaker? It's the question. Okay. Yeah. What's gonna be the symmetry breaker here?
Again, I told you long-lasting.
So what if you give them one that doesn't last very long?
I mean, who knows? Maybe it happened. I mean,
would it be okay if it didn't last too long?
Honestly, I think I think you're being disingenuous with the questioning right now.
I'm so sorry, but you're just not answering it, and I think you know that if you answer it, you look fucking crazy, because it is fucking crazy that your God said that you can beat slaves with a rod. That is crazy, and it is crazy because the natural conclusion is that you have no moral reason to not do other things to them, like give them chemical burns.
I mean, if it wasn't commanded, then that would be the logical reason. It doesn't mention it in Scripture, so again, you're making a really far out claim on something that's not even mentioned in Scripture.
Oh, also, so it says, but if the slave survives a day or two, so it's not being fine. The thing is not like they need to be fine. It's that they need to survive for at least 2 days. So you can give lots of people chemical burns and they'll survive for at least 2 days. So now the burden is back to you. So they actually don't care about long-lasting impact in beating people with rods. What they actually care about is whether or not your slave survives for 2 days. So do you think it's moral to give your slaves chemical burns? And if not, what's the moral distinction?
Again, I don't think it is, and it's because it's not mentioned in Scripture. That's
Oh,
the
gotcha.
moral.
Wait, so do you think fucking children is wrong?
I mean, that phrasing that way was crazy. Again, in modern times, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wait, who's the moral relativist now? And I'm sorry, could you show me the scripture where it says that having sex with kids is wrong?
I can't tell you there is one. I know that
Yeah,
there's
there isn't one. Wait, so how do you
man-laying
ground
with
the
boys.
wrongness of it when there's no
I know that
scripture
there's
telling you
scripture
that it's
says
wrong?
man-laying with boys shouldn't happen, and that
Yeah, wait, so how do
many
you
scriptures that say we
so
shouldn't
how do you
harm
ground
kids.
the wrongness of it?
In modern lenses?
Oh, gotcha. So you just rely on your non-God worldview.
No, it wouldn't be my non-God. I mean, laws change,
Joe, thank you
and
so much.
people
Appreciate
respond
it.
to that
Big
based
W,
on the
Joe.
laws around them, and we're commanded to follow the laws of the land. So if the laws of the land change, we follow them. So it would be amoral then, I guess, in my opinion.
It would be
But
amoral.
well, I think
So if
consent
I
is
took you back in time in a time
yeah. So
machine, if I took you in a time machine back to like the time period of Jesus, and I brought you a 6-year-old, would you do it?
that's disgusting.
Would you? Would it be wrong
I
to
think
do
it's
it?
really weird that you're probably thinking about this right now, and it's really weird.
Oh, dog, it's literally your worldview. It's a critique of your worldview. You can't produce a single reason why this would be wrong in your worldview.
Because you don't have anything
You're not
to
going to be
tell
able
me
to
that in
know
my
you your way out
worldview
of
this is what.
this. You're not
I
going to
mean,
be
if
able to
you,
know you your way out of this. It's not going to work.
yeah, I
If
can because
would
I
it would
I
it be
don't
wrong? Would it
fuck
be wrong for a
6-year-olds.
person to do that if they got teleported back in time? Would that be wrong?
So, atheists do this a lot. Like, why do you
Oh my
guys
God!
come
No
with
one cares about the meta commentary. I'm not going to
because
take debate advice from you. You're getting
because
slammed. You got slammed on your own religion, dog. Wait, I'm not interested in the meta commentary. I'm interested in the
is
answer
time
to the
travel is
question.
time travel
Wait,
is time
I'm
travel
interested. You wait. Notice how you refuse to answer the question. Would it be wrong to go back in time and do that to a child? Would that be wrong?
I mean, I guess it depends on what Scripture is basing as the
It depends.
age of
The
consent.
answer to would it be wrong to rape a child? It
Okay,
depends.
rape a child. Nice. Nobody
Wait.
said
Do you think?
rape.
Do you think?
Sex.
Wait. Do you think sex with kids can be anything other than rape? Do you think kids can consent?
I mean, again, that's in the modern lenses. It's statutory rape if you have.
Do you think kids could consent back then? Do you think kids could consent back then? Yes or no?
I mean, I don't know. I exist 2,000, if not 6,000 years after that, so I couldn't give you an answer on that. I know that there's the gene pool has completely changed, but nonetheless,
You're not
I
sure?
already said in my modern
You're
lenses.
not sure if a 6-year-old could consent back then?
Okay,
You don't
didn't
know?
say 6-year-old, but no, I would say.
Oh, I'm sorry.
6-year-old.
Wait, we could do like a 9-year-old, 12-year-old.
I think that's what I meant
Robert,
by it
thank you
depends
so
on Scripture.
much.
We have early church fathers who have laid these laws out, and I would say that there's some, because I lean more towards a Orthodox worldview. I've seen Orthodox fathers condemn those fathers, so it's like, I mean, yeah.
Wait, so I just want to be clear. So you're agnostic to the question of whether or not like a 12-year-old could consent?
Did you ask if I'm agnostic? Sorry, I got a call.
Yeah,
on
are
that.
you agnostic to what? Excuse me, I was thrown up a bit. Are you agnostic to the question about whether or not a 12-year-old could consent? Robert, thank you so much for the boxing glove. Appreciate it.
In the Old Testament or now?
Ever? Could a 12-year-old ever consent?
I would be agnostic.
You're agnostic to whether you don't know whether a 12-year-old could consent?
I mean, there's there's some arguments that Mary in the Scripture was 12 to 14. So
yeah.
it's like,
What the fuck, God? Why would God impregnate a 14-year-old?
Well, I mean, again, I think this is again a question for you on your worldview, how that makes any sense, why it would be wrong anyway.
You're retreating to tag, really?
No, well, I mean, it's a fair question. Like, where under your worldview is this?
I'm not gonna, dog. You don't know if 12-year-olds can consent. You want me to ground the wrongness of graping a child? Wait, do you think it's wrong that God impregnated Mary? Because you actually need to be committed to the position that impregnating a 12-year-old was
Yeah,
good.
no,
It was
absolutely
morally
not.
perfect that God
Well,
impregnated
and
this
you
12-year-old.
only have 1 to 2 sources on that anyway. So it's like that's not even a justified truth claim anyway.
Yeah,
So
so the way that they
like in the
arrive at
case that it
the
is,
age of Mary is just based on the age of the typical Jewish girl at the time. Otherwise, Mary would have been, married off.
right. So again, that there's only 1 to 2 sources that mention an age, and that's early apostolic fathers who mention those things. I think it's Ignatius and somebody else. But anyway, yeah, I would say no, it's not wrong. Obviously, that
It's
she
not wrong that God impregnated a kid?
no, because then you'd be an illogical contradiction if you say the all good doer did something wrong.
Yeah, and you'd be in insanity, disconnected from reality, if
Yeah.
you
So again,
affirmed that it
so
was
again,
right, it was morally perfect.
I answered you down to the bone now. So where in your worldview does this suppose that it is wrong? If we
Okay,
come
that's fine. That's
from a
fine. I'll
naturalistic,
give you this last argument, just because you're curious. The wrongness is present in the suffering itself, in the qualitative experience. Just as the sky is blue, suffering is experienced as bad. So the suffering of a child who gets raped when they can't consent because they could never consent. Whenever this happens, they experience a tremendous amount of suffering.
oh, okay, that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
Why does that matter to you if you're
Because
going
it's
to?
qualitatively experienced as bad. It's like asking why the sky is blue. It's just experienced that way.
So who gave you that understanding?
My own qualitative it is qualitatively
If
experienced
it
to
happened on a
everyone.
regular
It is quite
basis
literally the
6,000
bad
years ago,
feeling.
then who tells you that that's what it
It
is?
is nobody told me that. It's experienced that way. In the same way the sky is experienced as blue, suffering is experienced as bad. Well, I'm probably going to move on to the next one. By the way, that guest, in case you have no idea, and in case you weren't here for the beginning of the discussion, that guest called me theologically inept, and then proceeded to get folded on every point and then defend schmetophilia. I'm sorry, not defend. That's a mischaracterization. Be agnostic towards schmetophilia. He wasn't sure whether or not a 12-year-old could consent. He had no idea. But make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. Drop in that follow as well if you're enjoying the debates. You never want to miss one in the future. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older, you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran, and you have an argument which does not involve personal experience. Let's check out the gifts, the gifters. But yeah, if you want to join the community, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. We talk politics, religion, philosophy. We do reading groups. We just read a paper. We're currently reading a paper about how to deal with presuppositionalists. So if you liked the way that I handled that presuppositionalist, if you want to learn all of those arguments, please feel free to come and join the Discord and check it out. Vivian, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Venmo. Hail, Vivian. Hail, 666, and a big hail, Satan. Mitchell, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Venmo. Hail, Mitchell. Hail, 666. Hail, Satan. I'm sorry, I'll do that again because I fucked it up. Hail, Mitchell. Hail, 666. Hail, Satan. Thank you so much. And then I think that's it, but I appreciate all the gifters. All right, on to the next one. But keep on double tapping on that screen. If you want to support the stream, Venmo's allegedly -Ian. Cash App is just allegedly Ian. As we move into the very next one, into the very next guest. Where are the red lights? Yeah, I've been trying to streamline the process, trying to keep it like high energy and moving quick. I feel like the streams didn't move very quick. Hey, what's up? How's it going? The official Robbie Harold.
What's up, man? How are you doing?
Yeah, how old are you?
I am 27.
And what religion are you?
I am not religious at all. I'm spiritual, but I do believe in the God of the Bible.
Oh, fuck, I kicked him too soon. I'm only looking, I totally would have, damn. Shoot me. You're welcome to come back up and request. Heath, thank you so much for the $20 on Venmo for critical thinking. I love you, Heath. Thank you so much. Big W. That's incredible. Big W, Heath, in that comment section. But share it with your friends. Double tap on that screen. Do all that good stuff. So we try to get the next guest on up in here. Yeah, I don't know. I get scared off when people say spiritual because I'm worried that they're about to waste my time and my viewership will drop to 0. What's up, Dylan? How's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Yeah, how you doing? How old are you?
31.
And what religion?
Christian.
Okay, what's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
Oh, second.
Do you want me to come back to you in just a second, or how long?
No, I'm good. Can you say that again?
Yeah, what's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
The Bible.
Okay, and I got the important question for you. What's the evidence that the Bible is true?
I mean, you have numerous books written by numerous authors over.
Which ones?
Do what?
Which ones?
I mean, the books written by numerous authors who all coincide together.
Which books?
Every book.
So, like Isaac Newton's like Intro to Calculus?
Don't even know nothing about that.
Yeah, you said every book.
Oh, books of the Bible.
Oh, gotcha. So the proof of the Bible is the Bible itself. Gotcha. So, could you tell me why my power strip isn't working?
It's obviously plugged into itself.
Yeah, it needs to be plugged into something else. Similarly, you can't just say the Bible is true because the Bible is true. You need to cite something other than the Bible to prove the truth of the Bible.
The Bible tells us to live by faith, and you're already taking that out when you said we can't use our personal faith.
Yeah, it's because I'm looking for
my
debates
testimony
and
varies from everybody else's testimony that leads us to faith, and you don't want to debate on that, which is understandable. This is yours.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm looking to debate, and unfortunately, personal experiences can't be debated. You could literally just be making the entire thing up, and there's absolutely no way to verify any part of it. So unless your personal experience has been documented and scientifically studied, I'm just not interested.
That's understandable.
Yeah. So do you have an argument for why the Bible is true?
Okay. In elementary school, did you ever play the little game telephone where you whisper something in someone's ear? Go around the classroom? And
Yeah, I did, and it always got the message all mangled. Yeah.
And so over thousands of years, the Bible still remains intact the way it was originally written.
Oh, how do you know that?
I mean, that goes back to faith, which I can't use. So.
Gotcha. Wait, so you don't have any evidence that that actually is the case? You just hope that that's the case.
What's the odds? I mean, it's worth considering if a book made up of many books from all different time spans across that time period by a bunch of different authors all comes back to the same conclusion. I mean, what's the odds that it's not worth considering?
Yeah, I just need any evidence for it. All the Spider-Man comics assert that Spider-Man is real, but just because there's so many Spider-Man comics, that doesn't mean that Spider-Man is real. So I just need the evidence that the Bible is actually true, that it's describing real things.
No, I wasn't there back then.
Okay, should I move on to the next guest, or do you have evidence?
What is your problem with the Bible?
Oh, the Bible endorses the unaliving of children, says that grapists should marry their grape victims, and says that slavery is chill. That's my problem with the Bible.
It says slavery is chill?
Yeah, in Leviticus 25:44 through 46, it says that you can own people as property.
So are we paying them?
No. Typically, when you own a person as a possession, do you pay your water bottle?
In the same book you just quoted, it says to treat them fair and pay them a fair wage.
Where does it say to?
Exodus,
And where does it say to pay your slave a fair wage? Can I see?
Well, I mean, my Bible app is literally on my phone. I mean, go look it up. It says it in Leviticus. It says it in Exodus. It says it in Malachi.
Okay, wait. Pay your slaves a fair wage verse. I'm not seeing anything. Oh, wait, okay. So is this referring to Hebrew slaves? I'm actually not seeing, in fact, I'm not seeing anything that says you should pay your slaves a fair wage from Exodus or Leviticus.
It does. It says it. I mean,
Prove it. Which verse?
If I literally had my Bible, I could, but I mean, I don't have the greatest. Like, I'm not going to sit here and argue that I'm a Bible scholar, but
Yeah, wait, so do you think beating your slaves is treating them well?
beating them.
Yeah, beating them with a rod, as it says to do in Exodus 21:20 through 21. Is that treating them well?
So if I'm paying someone for work, and I walk in and they're, I don't know, stealing me blind, yeah, I'm probably going to put hands on them.
Gotcha. And do you think that so you are in favor of beating your slaves?
When was the word slaves that you're using introduced? Wasn't that like 1200?
Yeah,
they're
so
servants, they're not
words
slaves, they're servants.
yeah, words are
Moses
entirely made
led
up.
the
Languages
slaves
are
out
entirely
like
made
he was
up.
told.
The English language has advanced a lot. The Hebrew word that is used means slave. Oh, thank you so much, Hambles. Appreciate that. Are you aware of the fact that we can translate words?
Oh, yes. So slave can also be translated as a servant.
Oh, do you own your
And-
servants? Do you beat your servants with a rod?
Do you pay your servants?
Yeah, you do pay your servants. They're employees. A servant is an employee. They're not a slave. You don't own them.
And it does say in the Bible to pay your servants.
That's nice, but it says that you can beat your slaves with a rod. Do you think it's okay to beat your slaves with a rod?
In today's time, absolutely not. I mean, if you
Was it ever okay?
for a servant?
Josh, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yeah, was it ever okay to beat your slave with a rod? Josh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Big W, Josh.
Like I said, if I walk in and someone's stealing me blind that works for me, there's a good chance I'm putting hands on them.
Gotcha. Wait, so I just want to be clear. So you do think that it's acceptable to beat your slaves?
I mean, you're trying to put words in my mouth. I've already told you that it's servants that are paid that you can look up.
No,
yourself. You're just
wait.
not
So
gonna
that's
admit
that's
that.
not the case though, and I actually will just ask you.
You're not going to admit that it says that to pay.
No,
them fair
it doesn't
wage.
say that. You haven't demonstrated. Oh, okay. Wait. If I want to admit it, then what verse is it? We'll read it out.
I can't use my phone right this
You have
second.
no
Or take me
idea.
off here. Somebody, you look it up, dude. You're sitting. in
I
front of
already
the
looked it
computer.
up. Nothing comes up.
Ask if the Bible says that they should pay their slaves a fair wage, and tell me
Yeah.
what
So
it says.
I searched "pay your slaves a fair wage" verse.
Okay, look. I mean, people in the chat's coming through here. They're
Yeah.
saying
Which
where it
which
says
verse
it.
is it? Which verse in Exodus or Leviticus is it?
Chat. Okay, someone says Deuteronomy. It says it.
Yeah. And I'm sorry. Is Deuteronomy the book of Exodus or Leviticus?
No, it is not.
Okay, gotcha. So you can see
It
that it's
says it
actually
in
not.
multiple places.
Gotcha. Wait. So certainly they'll be able to find the verse in Exodus or Leviticus.
The what?
So certainly they'll be able to find it in Exodus or Leviticus.
I'm
If it just says it all over.
Yeah, I'm almost positive it's there, but I mean, if it says it somewhere else.
Thank
it's still
you
to the
so
same
much for the
point.
Lucid Llama,
Speaking
Davey.
of-
Appreciate it.
Speaking of, see, what someone just said, Leviticus 22:11.
If a priest buys a slave with his money, the slave can eat the priest's food, and any children born to the priest's households can also eat the food. You can. So it's just saying, feed your slaves. Yeah, it also says that you can beat your slaves. So it's still using the word slave, you'll notice.
In the original text, it says slave.
Yeah, it does. Whoa, Josh, thank you so much. Big W, Josh, in that comment section. Appreciate that.
I don't think myself nor you can read the original text.
Do you want me to get someone who can? All right, yeah, I sent Justin from the Deconstruction Zone a message.
Okay, so apart from the slavery thing, what else do you just dislike about the Bible?
Well, actually, we can just infer what the slavery verse says based on the verse if you'd like to talk about it. So it says that you can own them as property, as a possession. So do you agree that slavery is when you own someone as a possession?
Yes, I do agree.
Gotcha. So do you agree that it says that you can own them as a possession?
Yes, it does say that.
Gotcha. So then you agree that it's talking about slaves?
I don't. I mean, was there not? Are there not servants that have worked for the same family and continue to work for the same family until they're dead?
Gotcha. Okay. Wait, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Wait. So because maybe we just I think we just missed each other there for a second because unfortunately it is deductive. You agree that a slave is when you own someone as property. You agree that in the Bible in 25, 44 through 46, it talks about owning people as property, but you disagree that in the Bible it's talking about slaves. Is that correct? Is that an accurate summary?
Slaves that we generally think of was bad. I mean, I agree 100%. But did God not have Moses lead the slaves to freedom?
I'm just so sorry because I do need an answer. Is that an accurate summary of your argument that you believe, you accept that a slave is a person who you own as property? You accept that in the Bible it's referring to people who are owned as property in Leviticus 25, 44 through 46, and you reject that it's talking about slaves.
Sure, let's say it was talking about slaves. Sure.
Gotcha. Oh, perfect. So it is talking about slaves. So do you think it was good when God said that you can own slaves?
In the context you want me to say, then no, I'd say no.
Oh, gotcha. So you think God is not all good?
No, God is good.
Oh,
All the
gotcha.
time,
Wait,
all
but
the
you
time,
said
God is
God
good.
did something that was not good.
Do what?
But you said that God did something that was not good.
Did God free slaves?
I'm just asking you because you said that it was not good when God said that you can own slaves. You said that that's not good. So you agree that God did something that was not good. So God is not all good insofar as he does things that are not good.
Was there slaves in the Garden of Eden?
Wait, I'm so sorry, and I just need you to engage with the argument. I don't want you to like run to whataboutisms.
I'm going on the same argument. Getting back
Yeah,
to
wait,
one point.
but you're not. Do you acknowledge all the things that
I'm going back to the same point. I assure you. Was there slaves?
Okay,
in
wait.
the
So
Garden of Eden?
do you affirm that God is both good and not good, or that he's both all good and also not all good?
No, God is good.
Okay, gotcha. So if God is all good, there's never anything that he does that is not good.
Like what?
I'm just asking you, do you agree that if God is all good, then there's nothing he ever does that is not good?
Yes, I agree. God does
Yeah,
not do
gotcha.
anything that's not good.
But it was not good for God to say that you can own slaves. Do you agree that it was not good for God to say that you can own slaves?
Was it in his original commandments to own slaves?
It was, yes, it's like literally the same interaction.
Where does it say in the commandments to own a slave?
It says in Leviticus, the book, it's the same interaction between God and Moses. It's just an extension of God talking to Moses in Exodus.
So who
It is
owns
like the
slaves?
same conversation as the Ten Commandments, yeah.
We the people own the slaves.
That's nice, but God said that you could do it. Why would God say that you can do it instead of you can't do it?
Because people are, I mean, we're obviously bad. I mean, regardless of how good you try to be, you're still going to be bad.
Which is worse, owning slaves or eating shrimp?
Owning slaves.
Yeah, so why would God say no shrimp, but he wouldn't say no slaves?
Not sure.
isn't that kind of morally inconsistent? If owning slaves is worse than eating shrimp, and he says no shrimp, then you would also expect him to say no slaves. But he didn't say no slaves. He said you can have slaves, and you can beat them with a rod if you really want to.
You can beat them with a rod if you really want to. Yeah, OSHA didn't exist back then. We didn't have workers' rights.
They're not workers. They're slaves. Workers get paid. Workers don't get beaten with a rod. They're not workers. They're slaves.
They were paid.
They're not paid. You can't produce the verse.
You can. I'm not sitting in front of a computer, and as the chat
I've been unable to.
You've not tried. You're just.
I have tried. Wait. What do you want me to search up for you?
Were slaves in the Bible paid?
Were slaves in the Bible paid? In the Bible, the majority of enslaved people were not paid, though some did receive a small amount of money. So, no, the majority of people were not paid.
So let's circle back to where the question you wouldn't answer.
Yeah, I probably would run away from that one too. Yeah.
No, it says it. I mean, I listen to the Bible every day. I just can't recall. I mean, I've always struggled with recalling exact books and chapters and verses. I mean, there's a lot.
Gotcha. Wait. So what point do you want to move to? What point would you like to pivot to next?
Oh no, same thing. Like I asked you earlier, were there slaves in the Garden of Eden?
No.
No, correct.
Well, actually, I'm sorry because I don't actually believe in the Bible. So.
Oh, I know you don't understand that, but you obviously know the Bible enough to argue it. So you know that in the Garden of Eden there was Adam and Eve.
Sure.
There was no sin.
Yep. Sounds good.
Hey.
And then God said that you can own slaves.
No.
Yes.
No.
He says that you can own people as property. You've already conceded this. You conceded this like fucking 20 minutes ago. You can't just no.
Oh, I actually wasn't talking to you. I was talking to my boss.
Oh, okay, gotcha. At work
Yeah,
is
bad.
crazy.
Yeah, I know. But no, what I was saying was there was no sin in the Garden of Eden, right?
Yeah, that's so nice.
Who chose sin? According to the Bible.
I'm so sorry. I'm not a Christian. I don't believe this.
I know you
I don't believe in this. This isn't. Nobody did because the Garden of Eden didn't exist. Is going to be my answer to all of this. Any question that you ask me about God, I'm just going to say I'm so sorry. That's not true. I don't believe in this. You have presuppositions that I don't accept.
Well, okay.
You got anything else?
Nah, I don't reckon.
All right. Well, appreciate coming on up here. Make sure you are double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. If you're enjoying the stream so far, make sure you're leaving that follow as well. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older, you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran, and that you have an argument which does not involve personal experience. Let's see. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Will, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Cash App. Hail, Will. Hail, 666. And a big hail, Satan. Appreciate that, Will. Big W, Will. On the Venmo. I think I already thanked Heath, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Heath. All right, this guy says he'll cook me. Let's see.
Yeah, hello.
Hey, how's it going? How old are you?
16.
You got to be 18 or older, unfortunately. If you're not 18 or older, I can't talk to you. It's a violation of TikTok terms of service. But make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, and I guess we'll just go in order. If you want to support the stream, Venmo's allegedly-Ian. Cash App is just allegedly Ian. Make sure you're dropping that follow, and if you want to join the community, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. I'd love to see you there. What's up? How's it going?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Yeah, doing well. How old are you?
I agree. I 100% agree with you with a comment, if you allow me. You know what I'm saying?
Do you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran?
I believe in a higher power. No, sir.
But do you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran?
No.
I'm so sorry. I'm only looking to debate people who believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran, because those are the people who are ruining our society. Whereas all the rest of them are, I don't know. If you have like a spiritual deity and that helps you through the day, sounds good to me. Hey, what's up? How's it going, Kev?
Good, good. How you doing?
Yeah. How old are you?
59.
Yeah. And what religion?
Christian.
Okay. What's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
Well, actually, that was one of them, but the other one is to prove the existence of God, I would say the Bible.
Gotcha. And I got the important question for you. What's the evidence that the Bible is true?
What evidence? Because a lot of it has been documented.
Yeah, like what?
Although that a lot of it has been changed through translations to try to make sense of it. But other than that, that's what I believe.
Gotcha. So which of it has been documented?
Just because within the Bible, everything is documented as far as the time of things. As far as because the Bible was designed just to give you what was going on at that time and how
Okay.
God dealt with it.
Which part is you said it was documented. Which part is documented?
Okay, like they've documented things like the tombs of Jesus. They documented the land. The land is like Godom and Samor is still there to this day.
Okay, gotcha. So there's two things. First of all, nobody knows where the tombs of Jesus are. You're welcome to provide the link that says that they found it, and that's like archaeologically verified. Sodom and Gomorrah don't exist anymore, and nobody knows where they are. But you're welcome to disprove that claim either. So you're setting two things that have in fact not been verified.
Yeah,
Nobody knows where either of these things are.
Well, they were documented. They were documented. Like I said, I'm 59 years old, so a lot of this stuff was before Google and all this.
Yeah. So
new
where can I
technology stuff.
check and see that these things are
Well,
documented?
my thing is, I haven't saved that stuff, so I couldn't
You
like.
have no idea. So
No,
I can
it's not that I don't have an
demonstrate to
idea.
you.
It's
People
not that I have an idea.
have hypotheses of where they are.
It's not that I don't have an idea. It's just like if I read a book and I know what I read, and then somebody 10 years later asks me about what I read, well, show me what you read. I can't show you what I read because I don't have that book anymore.
Gotcha. Do you have a source on hand? Otherwise, I can't
No.
take the book that you read like
Well,
50 years ago.
I don't have a source on hand, no, because that's not what I was really. You asked me a question, and I just told you my
Yeah,
question.
and I told you why neither of those things are true. So do you have another argument?
And as far as like what you was talking about in Leviticus,
Gotcha. Yeah, what about it?
the way you're presenting it is not true because the thing about that is back in that time, God took them out of Egypt. They was being treated as slaves, but back then,
Yeah.
God didn't call it slaves. God said they were in bondage.
Oh, yeah. So they were taken out of Egypt as slaves so they could go to Israel and treat other people as slaves. Is that the correct order of events?
No, that wasn't the thing. They were
So
servants.
what's your
Because you gotta-
explanation of the verse where God says in Leviticus, you can own slaves, and then the verse in Exodus where he says, you can beat the slaves which you own? What's the explanation of that?
I haven't seen it.
I'll just read it to you. So Exodus 21, 20 through 21, where it says, when a slave owner strikes a male or female slave with a rod and the slave dies immediately, the owner shall be punished. But if the slave survives a day or two, there is no punishment, for the slave is the owner's property. And then Leviticus 25, 44 through 46, where it says, as for the male and female slaves whom you may have, it is from the nations around you that you may acquire male and female slaves. You may also acquire them from among the aliens residing with you and from their families who are with you, who have been born in your land. They may be your property. You may keep them as a possession for your children after you, for them to inherit as property. These you may treat as slaves, but as for your fellow Israelites, no one shall rule over the other with harshness.
Okay, and this proves my point.
What's your point and how does this prove it?
Because what you just read, right, is translated totally different than what I'm fixing to read to you.
Gotcha. Yeah, W discrediting the Bible. So your excuse is that the Bible contains lies.
No, what I'm getting ready to tell you is that you misquoted. You got a new translation that you reading through Google. So what I'm
Oh,
getting
this
ready
is
to
this is the NRSVUE. It's the academic standard. If
well,
you go
I gotta
to
ask you.
if
I
you go
gotta
to
ask you.
school to get like a master's of divinity or like a
Yeah.
PhD in theology, this version is the version of the Bible that they will hand you if you try to study it at a higher level.
That's fine, but like I say, I got the Bible right here.
Yeah, which
I got
version are
it
you
right
reading
here,
out
and
of?
I can read it to you.
Yeah, which version?
It's the King James.
Gotcha. Did you know that the King James talks about unicorns?
I don't know about all that, but I
Yeah,
know
wait. So I'll give you the
I know
the
unicorns is
unicorn
more
verse
of
if
a
you're
metaphor.
interested for when the King James talks about unicorns.
It's more of a
Um,
metaphor. It's not a actually reality thing that they speaking on.
oh yeah, of course. Yeah, it's just it's all a metaphor. If it's just full of metaphors, then how do you know any of it's real?
Because just like when we give examples of things, we sometimes we give an example to try to explain something to somebody to get them to understand what we're trying to explain to them.
Yeah. So how do you know which is a metaphor and which part's real?
How do you know what a metaphor is and what is
How
real?
do you know which parts of the Bible are metaphorical and which parts are real?
For things that comes through, that's why you have to be spiritual, because just like God said,
Vibes. It's all. So you figure it out by vibes. That's all I wanted to hear. So the way you determine what's
You said
real and
vibes.
what's not real, what's metaphorical,
See that?
vibes. It's pure vibes.
You say vibes, but vibes is no more than feelings.
Yeah, and that's what you're saying, that you just go based off of your feelings.
Feelings and spiritual is two different things.
Wait, so is it, do you have a feeling on which is real and what's metaphorical, and that's how you make the decision? Is that it?
No, I go on facts.
Yeah, so what
I don't
facts
go.
lead you to believe whether something is metaphorical or literal? What facts?
Facts are when you actually see things, you actually read things, you actually study things, you actually get documented facts. Those are facts.
Yeah,
Facts
so that's
are
just going to be a non-answer,
facts
right?
are
Because
like
what I'm asking you is when you are reading the Bible, how do you tell whether a passage is metaphorical or
I'll
literal?
tell you.
And your answer to me is that when you're reading the Bible, you tell whether it's metaphorical or literal by looking at the facts, by reading it.
You didn't let me finish. What I was explaining by that was spiritually, just like God said, if you need to get an understanding of certain scripture, you have to pray to Him so He can send you the spirit of truth. The spirit of truth is what you get to
Yeah,
understand what you're
and do you
reading.
feel the spirit of truth?
Yeah, I always do.
So it's based on a feeling. So whether it's metaphorical or literal is based on a feeling.
Well,
So it's
not a, no,
feelings, it's
not a feeling.
vibes.
It's not a feeling. It's a spiritual or truth that God sends to you.
But it's something that you say that you feel it.
A feeling is touching. A feeling
Yeah.
is if I pinch you, ow.
No, it's
A
also
feeling,
it's
a feeling
other
is
things
if I
other
get
than
hurt.
touching. Because
A feeling, no.
if you
feeling
called
is
me a
if I
mean
get,
name, I might feel sad. You don't need
yeah,
to touch me for me to
That's a
feel
feeling.
something.
A feeling is more of if you do something and it hurts my feelings. We're not talking about that. I'm
You
not
can
talking
feel
about that.
happy. You can just look at a nice sunset and feel happy. So
I'm
it's
not
based on
talking.
feelings. Whether something is metaphorical or
Do you
literal in your
understand?
worldview, it's all feelings.
No. Do you understand? A spirit is energy.
I don't believe in spirits, and I probably don't believe in energy in the way you're using it.
Well, it's science, like you like.
Science doesn't talk about spirits.
They I just seen it like 2 years ago. They was talking about they just did a study on people that was dying. And
Joseph, thank you so much for the $100 on Venmo. Huge W, Joseph. That's incredible. I love the fuck out of you, Joseph. Joseph, thank you so much. I love you. Thank you so much, Joseph. I love you. Big W, Joseph, in that comment section.
they just did a study. I just seen a thing 2-3 years ago. They just talked about it. They was talking about that, how they was doing a study on people that was dying and stuff, and these different studies they was doing, and they came with this conclusion about this energy and all this stuff. And I was just like, okay, now they want to believe in something that
That's
they
not real.
debunking.
That's not real.
Okay, I guess so. You could choose what's real and what's not real. That's what
Yeah,
you
just
said.
based on evidence. Yeah, I figure out what's
I
real
mean,
and what's
that's what
not real based on evidence. You figure out what's real and what's not real based on vibes. That's the difference.
not really, because really you just giving me basically what you choose. You're not really proving nothing to me. You just giving me what
Yeah,
you
which part of my worldview do you want proof for?
you giving me. No, I'm not asking for nothing
I can
particular.
give you proof for literally any part of my worldview, whereas all you can give me is, well, the vibes of this passage are
You ask,
metaphorical. The vibes of this passage are literal.
no, but you asking me for something particular.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, if given any verse of the Bible, how do you know whether it's metaphorical or literal?
I
And
just explained that
honestly,
to you.
I
I
already got
just
my
explained it.
answer. It's
I
it's
just
vibes. You go
because
based on vibes.
no,
You
I
just
just
vibe your way through
no.
it.
That's how you look at it.
That's
How
literally
you
how
look
you
at
look
it.
at it. No, you.
Because no, because there's nobody on this earth, not even a scientist, couldn't even debunk that a spirit does not exist. They
Yeah,
haven't.
it's because you can't prove a negative, obviously. There's just no evidence that
Well,
spirits do exist. Science
they
isn't in the field of disproving the
no,
existence of metaphysical entities.
I just told you that 2-3 years ago they just was started talking about that.
No, they didn't. Wait, which
Okay.
book is this?
I guess I was just looking at a
Yeah, it
TV.
didn't happen. Wait, what book is this? Do you even remember the name of
No,
this book, or is
it
this
wasn't a
another one
book I
that you
was looking.
left in your pants pocket?
No, it wasn't a book I was reading. I was looking at it on TV. The whole science thing.
Yeah,
They
so I can just tell you right now. Wait, so what field of science would spirits fall under?
it don't fall under no
Gotcha. So if it doesn't fall under a
spirits
spirit
don't
of
fall.
science, then it's not, or a field of
Spirits
science, then
don't
it's
fall.
not
No,
science.
that ain't what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I was saying was they were studying people. They were studying like certain things because I'm not a scientist, but they were studying certain things of people who have died. So they was kind of trying to figure out if that spirit stuff was real, like what people was talking about, because they used to always do.
Wait, are you talking about the 20 you lose like 20 grams when you die?
I don't know about. Was it that?
The 21 grams. I'll read you an excerpt. McDougall's experiment has been rejected by the scientific community, and he has been accused of both flawed methods and outright fraud in obtaining his results.
Yeah, no, I wasn't talking about him though. I don't know nothing about
Oh,
him.
gotcha. Wait, so who were you talking about?
It was a big. It wasn't him. It was a damn. Because I see it was a while. It was about 3 years ago. Because I was looking at it on YouTube because they was talking about all this other stuff, but it had to do with science.
Yeah, gotcha. I can't speak to the YouTube video that had to do with science that totally proves the existence of
Well,
spirits.
I
Trust
mean,
me, bro.
but that's the thing. You expect me to bring up something that I done seen a while back.
Yeah, I expect you to provide evidence for the claims you make. Correct. Yeah.
Well, I'm not. Well, no, I'm not making a claim. I'm not actually
Joe, thank you
making a
so much. Appreciate
claim.
it.
I'm not actually making a claim. I'm just saying what I seen. I'm not claiming that. Yeah, it's true.
What do you think a claim is?
Because if I see something, right? If I go outside and see something, and then 10 years later you ask me to prove what I seen, how can I do that?
Yeah, I'm not gonna ask you for what you've seen. I'm asking you for a source for the wacky claims you're making, and I honestly I feel like we're just going in circles. So do you have evidence that God exists, or do I need to move on to someone who does?
I'm telling you, this is what I want to do. So you read to me Leviticus, right? So my point was, I'm gonna read you what Leviticus say.
Yeah, let's read what Leviticus says. Let's hear it.
Okay. So it says, "Thou shalt not rule over him with rigor." This is from 25:43.
Yeah, wait. Should not rule over who?
They talking about the people that's who that was coming out of Egypt, that was servants, because God doesn't look at them as
Which verse is this?
This is in 25:43.
Oh, come on. Why are you gonna do this to yourself? You're just gonna make yourself look like a liar. You don't need to do this. It's not too late to run.
I'm not making myself look like a liar.
You're going to make yourself look like a liar.
How's
It's not
that?
too late to run.
How's that?
No, go ahead and read the verse and you'll find out. Go ahead and read the verse and you'll find out. Read the verse.
Okay. So it says, "Thou shalt not rule over him with rigor, but shalt fear thy God." But then in 44 it says, "Both thy bondman and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids. Moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy, you hear that word, ye buy, and of their families that are with you, which they begot in your land, and they shall be your possession, right? So, and it says, and ye shall take them as a inheritance. Ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you. And then it says to inherit them for possessions. They shall be your bondmen forever. And then it says, but over your brethren, the children of Israel, ye shall not rule one over another with rigor. Then it goes on and says 47, if sojourner or stranger wax rich by thee and by thy brother that dwelleth by him wax poor, and sell himself. You hear that? Sell himself. A slave don't sell theyself. Himself unto the stranger or sojourner by thee, or to the stock of the stranger's family. So that lets you know that they were not slaves, because they also sold themselves to help feed their families and be servants of the people who they were working for. But in today's time, we call them employees. So
Do you beat your employees with a rod?
where in the Bible did they say that they was beating them? Unless they was
That's Exodus 20 or Exodus 21, 20 through 21.
unless they was in Egypt, then yeah.
No, this
That
is
happened.
after God frees all of them, and when God is coming down to Moses to be like, "Hey Moses, what's up? Here are the ground rules." God says, "Yeah, here's the laws. You can beat them. You just can't like
Nah,
unalive them."
I don't
So
think it meant
20
that. What is
through
it?
so Exodus 21, 20 through 21. When a slave owner strikes a male or female slave with a rod and the slave dies immediately, the owner shall be punished. But if the slave survives a day or two, there is no punishment, for the slave is the owner's property. So do
So
you
Exodus
beat your
20.
employees? Also, bondsman and bondsmaid are synonyms for slaves. This word, if you Google it, it's going to tell you that it's either a peasant or a slave. Peasants didn't exist because feudalism didn't exist. So it's either a peasant or a slave. It's not a peasant, so it's a slave.
They actually changed the meaning of a lot of words in here, just like rigor. Rigor in today's meaning means cold, like changing temperatures, but that ain't what it meant in the Bible.
I think rigor just means intensity.
Yeah, but I looked it up. It says cold or changing temperature, but that ain't the way it was used.
Gosh. Okay.
That ain't the way it was used in the
It's gonna
Bible.
be okay. It's gonna be okay.
So, and it wasn't used like that in the Bible. Now, what you said, Exodus what again?
Exodus 21, 20 through 21.
Exodus 21, 20 through 21. Okay, let's see. And if a man smite his servant or his maid with a rod, and he die under his hand, he shall be surely punished.
Carmen, thank you so much.
So what that tell you?
Wait, read the next one. Read the next one.
Okay. It says, notwithstanding, if he continue a day or two, he shall not be punished, for he is his money.
His what?
That's what it said. I just read it.
His money?
That's exactly what it say.
Fuck, because if it says that, then that's much worse.
No, because what it's telling you is that servant who works for you, that's your money.
There's
When
no
you
way it says that's crazy.
that's
So
what it does
it
say that.
literally
I just
describes
read
them
it.
as money. That's
Look,
fucking
it says
wild. That's so much
yeah, because
worse.
this is how they translated it. That's what I'm trying to explain to
Wait, so
you.
in what way is somebody else's life your money?
When you a servant, if you sell yourself to somebody to
Do you
feed your
think
family, if you sell yourself to somebody to feed your family, the way that your their money is because you're doing stuff on the land. You're
Gotcha.
doing the
Can
work.
you provide me the verse that says that this is only permitted if it's for debt, for like paying off debt? What's the verse that says that?
You
Or are
said
you
paying.
just inferring that because that's what you needed to say?
Say that again. You saying paying
What's the
off?
verse that says that the only occasion this happened was when people were in debt, or are you just inferring that because
Oh
that's what
no,
you
I
needed
didn't
to
say.
say?
I didn't say that. I didn't say the only occasion. I just read the verse to you.
Gotcha. Oh wait, so you acknowledge that it happened just because people were taken and sold as slaves?
No, a lot of them didn't. A lot of them sold their self.
Yeah, but you acknowledge that some of them were just taken and sold as slaves, and God says that you can own these people who were just taken and sold as
Yeah, but
slaves. Do you acknowledge that?
they wasn't treated as slaves back then. They were servants.
They
That's what
were,
y'all
wait, but it says that you can beat them with a rod.
it didn't it just I just read that to you.
Yes. Wait, so do you think it's morally justifiable
Look,
to
you mean
own somebody as a possession and beat
hold
them
on.
with a rod? Do you think that's justifiable?
It ain't justifiable because I'm gonna read it to you again. It ain't
Gotcha.
justifiable.
Wait. So it's not
And if
morally
a man,
justifiable to beat them with a rod.
hold
So
on,
then
no,
God
it's not
said something, said
justifiable
you could do something that's not morally
because
justifiable.
God,
So God's not
no,
all good. So God is both all
no,
good and
because
not all
God
good. A
didn't.
contradiction.
No,
So God doesn't exist.
it's not a contradiction because I just read it to you and you didn't listen.
I did listen. It says that you can beat them with a rod. You just can't kill them with
No,
a
that's
rod.
what you read on your end on Google.
I
I'm reading.
think you just fundamentally lack the reading comprehension.
No. It says,
Wait, can
and
I?
if
And I'm sorry because
hold on, hold
I
on.
don't want to be here until 3 a.m. So can I just read the 2 verses? And if a man smite his servant or his maid with a rod,
Look,
and he die under his hand, he
look.
shall surely be punished. Notwithstanding, if he continue a day or two, he shall not be punished, for he is his money. So what it's saying is that you'll be punished if you kill your slaves with by beating them too hard. But if they can recover within 2 days, if they're walking in
No,
2 days,
no,
then there's no
that
punishment.
ain't.
So you can beat them. They
No,
just need to be able to walk in 2
that's not
days.
what. No, you way off of what it's saying.
That
You
is
way
directly,
off.
literally just what it says.
Because a servant is not a slave. A servant is not a
Wait. So
slave.
what's a slave? Let's get definitions straight.
A slave is somebody that you take and they do things they didn't willingly want to do. So they didn't agree to do something. So you can have somebody in your house and you can punish them and beat them and
Is
tell
a
them
child a slave?
is a child a slave? No,
Is a
is
child a
not.
slave?
You said is a child a slave?
Yeah, is a child a slave?
A child is not a slave. No.
Yeah, wait, but you take them to places they don't want to be, and you force them to do things they don't
No,
want to
no,
do.
teaching. It's a difference between teaching and teaching someone.
Wait. So
and a
wait, do you want to
slave.
try giving another definition of slave? Because your definition of slave includes children.
That's not. You just asked me. That ain't
Yeah,
no
but your
slave.
definition of slave includes children. So do you want to try giving a different one?
How does it include children?
Oh, because it literally all the descriptions you gave, you force them to go places they don't want to go, and force them to do things they don't want to
They
do.
weren't. They
This
weren't
describes
forced.
children.
They wasn't forced. They had a choice to go if they wanted to go or not. That's not.
Wait. So you're telling me? I don't know if you're a parent. I'm not a parent, but my parents
I
certainly
am a
took me to
parent.
places
Yes,
that I didn't want to go.
but that ain't slavery, dude. Come on now.
Well, but under your definition, it would be slavery.
That's not slavery. No, it's
Under
not.
your
No, it's
definition, it would be
not
slavery. That's
under.
why it's not
No, it's
slavery,
not.
which is
No,
why
it's
your
not
definition is
because
bad.
slavery. I explained to you. If you got somebody in your house and you beating them and you making them do something against their will, that is slavery.
Yeah, wait. So if you make your kid like brush their teeth and they don't want to brush their teeth, is that slavery?
No, that's not slavery
Yeah,
because
of
you're teaching them
course.
how to
Yeah.
get what they like.
Clearly there's some element more to it.
It's a difference, dude. Come on now, be
Yeah.
real.
What's the difference?
The difference is teaching somebody something to be adult, teaching them about healthy things.
Wait. So
That's
if you
different.
don't teach your kid any lessons in life, are they your slave?
No, they're not your slave.
Gotcha. So it's not about. So even if teaching is absent, they're still not your slave. So your definition's terrible. I'll just help you out here. So a slave is a person who you own as property.
A slave is a person that you have do things against their will.
So a child is a slave.
No, a child is not a slave because
Do you
you're
make your
teaching.
child do things against their will?
Can you separate teaching someone
Wait,
something?
wait. So do you make your child do things against their will?
Yeah, because it's teaching them.
Gotcha. So
Teaching.
a slave is someone who you make do something against their will.
No.
You do not make children do stuff, or you do make children do stuff against their will. Therefore, children are slaves. Wait. So if you had a slave, but everything that they did, they wanted to do, despite the fact that they were owned, would this person still be a slave?
Say that again.
So let's say that we have a slave, but this person like does all the stuff of their own will just because they want to, like they're owned, and their will is that they don't want to get like beaten or whatever, so they just always do like the things that they're ordered to do. Would this person suddenly not be a slave because they agreed to do all of it?
If they agreed to do something that they didn't want to do, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, wait. No. So they just want to do all the things that they're being commanded to do. Would this person be like they're owned as property? They are owned by somebody else, but they just do all the things that they're commanded to do. Would that person be a slave?
I kind of don't understand the question. The reason why I don't understand it because of the way you're presenting it to me.
Yeah, so what I'm demonstrating to you is that your definition is bad because it excludes some people who are slaves and includes people who are not slaves. For example, your definition excludes from slavery people who are never commanded to do things that they don't want to do, even if they are owned, and it includes children. So your definition is bad, which is why the true definition is someone you own as a possession.
Not necessarily, because if I make a choice to do something, then that's the choice I made. That don't make me a slave.
Gotcha. So if you're born into slavery, but all the things that you're commanded to do are things that you have no problem to do, then you're a slave?
Slavery is about.
Then you're not a slave?
Slavery is about. First of all, slavery is abuse. Slavery is about making a person do things against their will and abusing them in that situation.
So if you abuse your child, is your child a slave?
Yeah, if you abusing your child, because
if you abuse your child, this is just an extremely non-standard usage of the word slave. Then, if you think it's the case that your child is your slave if you abuse them, that everyone guilty of so why is it the case that we don't charge people for like human trafficking or like whatever the slavery charge would be every time they're convicted of child abuse?
Home trafficking is slavery.
So why do we not charge people who are guilty of child abuse? Do you think people who are guilty of child abuse should be like also prosecuted with like whatever the slavery charge would be?
Yeah, because that's a form of slavery.
Oh, gotcha. So you think that someone who abuses a child has a slave?
Somebody who abuses a child?
So if someone doesn't abuse their slave, is that person no longer a slave?
It depends on how that, because you got, if a person is doing something that they want to do.
No, just if you don't abuse them. If you don't abuse your slave, are they still a slave?
If you don't abuse your slave. No, because that term slavery slavery is about against your will. It's not
gotcha.
about,
Wait. So if you Oh, wait. But you said that it was a form of abuse. So are you revising your definition?
No, slavery is a form of abuse, but it's still against your will.
So if there was no abuse present, then would it be slavery?
Would it be slavery if it was no abuse present?
Yeah, if someone owns you, and then
it can't be slavery if you're not being abused to do something against your will. It can't be slavery.
Gotcha. So if they a slave who is owned as property is not a slave if they never get like hit.
But see, you using it in a different.
That's crazy. I don't know. This dude's just too stupid. Not gonna lie. But make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. Starting to feel ableist. Not gonna lie. Make sure you're dropping that follow, sharing it with your friends. If you want to support the stream, Venmo's allegedly -Ian, and the Cash App is just allegedly Ian. Both of them are in my bio. Let's go through and read the donations. If you want to support the stream, the Venmo's allegedly -Ian. Cash App is just allegedly Ian. Appreciate any and all support. Thank you all so much. Kay, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Cash App. Hail, Kay. Hail, 666. And a big hail, Satan. I appreciate the fuck out of that, Kay. And then in terms of the Venmo, I know that there was the huge donation from Joseph. Let's get another big W, Joseph, for the $100. Excuse me, sorry, for the $100 on Venmo. Big W, Joseph. I appreciate that. If anybody else wants to support the stream, Venmo is allegedly -in, and the Cash App is just allegedly in. So if you want to, if you're in that, I think I already put the conditions, so we'll just go forward to the next one. Make sure you're sharing it with your friends, double tapping on that screen. And if you want to join the community, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. Only join if you're 18 or older, but it's really great. I'd love to see you there. What's up? How's it going, Phenotype?
Hey, brother. Appreciate you letting me come on here.
Yeah,
Just
how
a
old are
quick
you?
question that I think is kind of interesting. I was wondering what your opinion was on near-death experiences.
Jerry, thank you so much. I appreciate it. So my opinion on near-death experiences, thank you so much, Gio, is that they're unreliable. I mean, you're quite obviously just hallucinating, which is why everyone, your hallucinations depend on your culture. It's not like someone who's like raised in Hinduism has a near-death experience with like Jesus Christ, for example. They have a near-death experience with Vishnu. So it's just going to be based on your culture. Your mind is just showing you images that you already know, which is why I think they're unreliable.
But do you think consciousness is substrate independent in the sense that once the body and mind dies, that consciousness lives on?
I don't think that there's any way to know if that's true.
Even though we have over 25,000 pieces of evidence where people come back with what's called veridical data, where when they're outside of their body, they'll observe something that's grounded in objective reality.
Yeah, wait, so how do we
reported in the
verify
congenitally
that this is
blind.
what they experienced?
What's that?
How do we verify that this is what they experienced?
It's called veridical data. So they'll observe
What do
something
you
when
mean?
they're outside of their body.
What's
For
veridical
instance, a
data?
person that's been congenitally blind since birth saw a shoe on top of the hospital that they were being operated in and were pronounced clinically dead. And when they came back, they had a janitor go up to the top of the hospital and found the exact shoe they were describing.
Wait, and this is a newborn?
No, congenitally blind. So vertical data is just observing something that people can objectively
So when I
verify.
search for vertical data, I get nothing.
Veridical data and near-death experiences.
Veridical?
Yes.
When I search veridical data, I get nothing. Is it VERITICAL?
DD. VERIDICAL.
Veridical data. Okay, gotcha. Predictability. Okay. I'm getting nothing still.
I'd be
It
happy
just
to.
talks about like data science.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a list of reports. A good doctor. Let me grab his name.
Wait, so do you have like a meta-analysis?
Yeah, I could send you a couple of them. They're
What's
published
the meta-analysis on this? Let's hear it.
Give me 1 second. Let me pull it up.
Also, I mean, again, I'm like completely agnostic to whether or not consciousness continues to exist. The only thing that I'm sure of is that God doesn't exist.
Okay. I've got a link here. The guy I would recommend checking out is a guy named.
Wait, I don't
Jeffrey
want a person. I want a meta-analysis. Do you know what a meta-analysis is?
Just kind of like a synopsis.
No, it's like a study of studies.
Oh yes, that's Jeffrey Long's your guy.
Oh, and what's the meta-analysis title?
Near-death experience, evidence for their reality.
Near-death
It's in PubMed
experience,
Central.
evidence for their reality. Let's see it. Yeah, okay, wait. So, near-death experience of near have been reported children and adults. While no two are identical, their characters are commonly observed. These characters include perception, seeing and hearing apart from the physical body, passing it through a tunnel, encountering mystical lights. Yeah, wait. So, first of all, this is not a meta-analysis. First things first. Second of all, what fucking journal is this published in?
I think multiple. I've got the National Library of
Missouri
Medicine.
Medicine? Okay, whatever. Okay, yeah, whatever. Line of evidence, organized experience, occur, has the highest level of consciousness, alertness, more conscious or alertness than normal, which is expected if you went through a near-death experience and your body is pumping with endorphins and adrenaline. Near-death experience often occur in association with cardiac arrest. Sure. Seeing ongoing events from location apart from the physical body, a common characteristic is out-of-body experience. Out-of-body about report experiences which involve them seeing or hearing ongoing earthly events from a perspective that is apart and usually above the physical bodies following cardiac arrest. Yeah, wait, so this is just saying that they hallucinate. Is there any evidence that what they see is actually observed, and in what percent of patients is it actually observed? Because first of all, only 50% of patients even have out-of-body experiences, but what percent of these out-of-body experiences actually correspond?
That's a great question. In regards to what percentage of the experiences actually are grounded in veridical data, I'd have to pull up another study for that.
There were personally investigated the accuracy based on these. Okay, wait. So the high percentage of accurate does not seem explainable by any possible physical brain, and this is corroborated by. Okay, so this is gonna suffer from selection bias. That it's only going off.
And investigated it. So if the people themselves didn't go and investigate it, then this is going to be not high
quality. But also, I am curious about this person, Jeffrey Long, on near-death. Okay. Medical school, widely told, detailed. Yep. Okay. Yep. Foundation maintains. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Boop. Okay, the afterlife. Wait, so his book is a philosophy book. So, do you know what? Are you familiar with what this dude's like medical doctor is in?
No, I'm not. This is just one of the researchers that pulled offhand.
Yeah, so he has no expertise in this field of study.
What field are you referring to?
Of like near-death experiences.
What field would you classify that as?
What field would I classify that as? Golly, probably like biology. Or maybe like psychology or like neuroscience.
Yeah, I think it has tinges of neuroscience, maybe.
And
metaphysical.
he's he does like chemotherapy is his expertise. So chemotherapy probably doesn't have very much to do with the thing that he's publishing studies on, and he's dedicated his entire life to near-death experiences.
Would you consider yourself a theologian?
No expertise on it.
Would you consider yourself a theologian?
I'm not publishing papers, and also I don't think that you need like an expertise to write like a philosophy paper. All you need to be able to do is like make arguments. But if you want to hear about my expertise in making arguments, I was ranked third in the nation in debate. So I feel very qualified to do debate.
I totally agree with you. I don't think necessarily to be a prominent researcher you have to have a degree.
No, because in medical research you do, but in philosophical research I think it's different because all you need to do is make arguments.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what's being made as an argument. That
no,
it is
you're
possible
collecting
that consciousness
data.
is substrate independent.
No, he's collecting data about a field he has no expertise in.
But you just said that's not contingent.
Oh, no. So if you're writing a philosophy paper, I think that it's like sometimes fine. It's usually going to be fine because all that matters is that like the quality of your argument. Whereas when you're doing like a medical study, actually your medical expertise matters quite a bit. I mean, would you let like a fucking biologist operate on you?
This isn't a life or death situation.
Oh, I'm just asking, would you let a biologist operate on you? Yes or no?
It depends on the situation. I would say if I'm in a life or death situation and I had to choose between a biologist and a factory worker, I'd probably choose the biologist.
Yeah. But if you if you had to choose between like a biologist and like a surgeon, is it going to be? Are you going to stop and think about it? Are you going to think that maybe the biologist has like some credence?
And it depends whether it was a competent surgeon.
Yeah. So in what scenario would you be choosing the biologist over the surgeon when you need surgery?
In some.
Yeah. What scenario would make you choose the biologist over the surgeon when you need surgery?
In some. In some of the scenarios.
Yeah, what would
Are
make
you
you
asking
choose
me to
those?
render a scenario? I don't
Yeah,
see
yeah,
how
yeah.
it's
Give me a
useful.
scenario where you would choose the biologist over the surgeon.
Oh, okay. If the surgeon actually had a secret motive to kill me.
Gotcha. Could you give me like a realistic scenario?
Yeah, if the surgeon hated me.
Do you encounter lots of surgeons that hate you?
You just told me to give you a scenario. I'm not going to do a
I said a
research
realistic
report on it.
one. Like a realistic scenario.
Well, who defines realistic?
Things that are plausible.
By
To me, it
whose
seems
opinion?
deeply implausible that you, like a surgeon, would hate you and then kill you in surgery.
No, I think that's very. I think that's very
like what do we?
realistic.
Well, I have no idea what you're asking for. I'm just not sure. I couldn't possibly say. Do you think that that's like a good look for you?
I'm not concerned about my appearance.
Oh, well, you should be because you look incredibly bad faith right now.
Is that a personal attack?
It's not. It's just a personal fact. It's just an observation. You look incredibly bad faith when you can't give the very straight answer to who would you rather have operate on you, a biologist or a surgeon?
I said it varies, but based on the situation. You're
Gotcha.
trying
So
to corner me. You're trying to corner me and pull out a gotcha. I'm not going to fall into that trap.
Yeah, yeah. Instead, you're going to avoid that trap by saying, well, actually, in a case where I need surgery to survive, I would much prefer the biologist to the surgeon. In a good number of cases,
Okay,
these
let me
cases being
pivot the conversation,
if the
'cause I don't think
surgeon
this
if the
is-
surgeon hated me, I would want
Sure.
the biologist to operate on me instead of the surgeon. So in these cases, I would much prefer the surgeon or the biologist to give me surgery than the surgeon.
Absolutely. You asked for a case, I gave it to you.
Yeah, that
in
just doesn't
terms
seem
of
very
probabilities,
plausible.
I'd have to write a paper on.
Yeah, that's
and
just
research
not very
that. But
plausible.
hold on, I don't want to devolve into this. My intention with this conversation, I thought it was kind of interesting, like these near-death experiences. I guess my additional question with that is, you said you're agnostic about consciousness.
Yep. I don't think anybody's in a position to know what happens after we're no longer alive.
Couldn't we say the same thing about God? I mean, I feel like if there is an entity that is hyper intelligent outside of time, matter, space, and energy, and we're grounded in linear time, and we have a very small context window, and the only thing we really see is figments of this far greater thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't it make sense that the conclusions that we come to about God are going to be incomplete?
No, because if God is not logical, then God is illogical. God would be logically contradictory, and logical contradictions simply don't exist. I can give you a really straightforward one. Do you think God knows everything?
It depends how you define knowledge.
A true belief that was arrived at through your true belief gathering processes.
I think my knowledge of something being true is asymptotically limited by time.
Gotcha. Wait, can you tell me what definition I just gave you because you weren't listening?
You said something that I believe is true based on my beliefs.
That's not what I said at all. You weren't listening.
What did I
I'll give it
just
to you
say?
again. That
What
is
did I
not what I
just say?
said.
What did I say?
Wait. Bet me $200 right now that that's
What
not
did
what
I
I said.
say?
Wait,
What did I
bet me
say?
$200. Wait, because you said that
What
is
did I
what I
say?
said.
Look, Ian,
Wait.
I know
I'm
these
so
are
sorry.
your
Wait, I'm
debate
so sorry. I'm
games.
so sorry. You said.
I'll
Wait, I'm
turn
so
it
sorry.
right back on you.
I'm
What
so
did I
sorry.
say?
You said that that's not what I said. Bet me $200
No,
right now.
What did I say? What was my definition of
Which
knowledge?
wait. I asked you to summarize back to me what my definition was. You never.
And I'm
gave a
asking the same
definition.
thing for you. I
Wait.
apologize
You never
that
gave a
my-
definition. You wrongly summarized back to me, just like a true belief that you actually believe was like
I
a rough
apologize,
approximation
Ian,
of
that
your
your
summary.
definition-
So that's fine.
I
That's fine. I
recited
can
your
just
definition
give
wrong,
you.
but if you
wait.
can't do the same for me, why would-
Phenotype. Do you want to hear the definition so maybe actually you can engage with it?
You asked. Look, I'll recite.
I actually never
recite
asked
the
you for a
causal
definition
chain
of
our
knowledge. I
conversation.
actually never asked
You
you for a
asked me for
definition
my
of knowledge.
definition.
I just think you're a bit confused, but I'll give it to you again. So my definition of knowledge is just a true belief that's arrived at via your true belief gathering mechanisms.
I think that's good, but that's still asymptotic because you only have a certain amount of time to acquire that knowledge.
Wait, so and how do you think that answers the question, does God know everything?
You asked me that question.
Yeah, does God know everything? Yes or no?
Yes, I think he does.
Perfect. So I'm glad that we got there. So here's the proof that he doesn't know everything. If he knows
Is this
everything,
based on your knowledge?
This is based on logic, fundamental logic.
So
Keep
your
up.
knowledge of logic?
Fundamental logic. Keep up. The
Your
things
knowledge
that
of
actually
logic?
exist in reality. The
This
things that
one?
exist in reality are self-congruent. If they are self-incongruent, then they do not exist in reality because being and existence in itself has a fundamental essence of congruence. So
First of all,
the
I
reason
believe in
why
the laws
God
of
can't
logic.
possibly
I think they're very
exist
useful.
is because there are propositions that he can't possibly know, true propositions that he can't know. For example, if I say God does not know this proposition. That would be a true proposition. It's true that God does not know this proposition. Otherwise, God does know that proposition, in which case it would be a false proposition, in which case God would know false things. So either there's something God doesn't know and he's not omniscient, or God knows false things and he's not omniscient.
I love the laws of logic, and I think they're really useful. Where do
Can you
you think they
summarize
come
my
from?
argument back to me?
I will agree that I have a human brain. My short-term memory, by Miller's law, limits my ability to remember 7 plus 1 or 2 things at any given moment. So I've already offloaded most of that context, but I think you've provided. I think the laws of logic are a great way to build our understanding, even though it's very hard
Could you
for us to
summarize
understand.
any part of my argument?
The laws of logic.
No. Do you think all that came out of my mouth was the laws of logic?
Well, what did I have to say about knowledge?
About knowledge?
Yeah.
Wait, so
what was my
first of
definition
all,
of knowledge? You haven't still
yeah.
remembered
Well,
anything
so
I said.
first of all, you must have a very short-term memory because you don't even fucking remember that I already answered this. Second of all, what you said about knowledge
Okay,
happened
I'll
probably
ask
like
the
5
same
minutes
question.
ago. As the asking you to respond to my argument or to even summarize my argument back to me happened immediately after you were 3 words in to responding to my argument, which means that if you know my argument, if you're responding to it, then you must know it. So I was just basically
I don't
asking
claim to
you
know your argument.
summarize.
I will
Okay,
claim
gotcha.
every-
Wait, do you want
I will claim
my?
I'm trying
Would
to
you? Are
interpret your
you? Wait,
argument.
phenotype. Do you want my argument again?
I'd actually like to ask you another question.
Wait, because I just gave you an argument that God doesn't exist. So do you want my argument again, or do you want to provide the refutation?
I'll ask another question
Wait.
to
That's
understand your
I'm
argument
so
better,
sorry.
if
That's
you allow
not one
that.
of your options. That's not. Do you want to hear the argument again, or do you want to provide the refutation?
Am I allowed to ask you a question to understand it better?
Yeah, go for it.
Where do the laws of logic come from?
No shot. No shot. You're pivoting to tag. No shot. Are you serious? Wait. So you couldn't engage. You weren't even listening to the argument, which is like so typical for presuppositionists, by the way. That the argument itself doesn't even fucking matter, because you already know that you're gonna run tag and act like nonchalant about it. But then you're pivoting to tag. So no, give the refutation.
Could you answer my question?
Can you answer my question? What's the refutation to the argument?
I haven't composed a refutation. I don't.
You
think
don't
there
even
was
know
major
the
things in
argument.
there
So
I
I'm going to give
disagree
you
with.
the argument again and you can try again. So the argument is just that there is, it is either going to be the case that God doesn't know a proposition or that God knows false propositions. Let's take this proposition. God does not know this proposition. That's the proposition. God does not know this proposition. If God knows that proposition, then it's false. But if God does not know that proposition, then he is not all-knowing. So either God is not all-knowing and he doesn't exist because he would be both all-knowing and not all-knowing, or God does know this false proposition, in which case he would not exist because he is not omniscient and also would be omniscient. So either way, we arrive at a contradiction in his omniscience.
Yeah, that we've created. I think even the laws of logic are limited.
Can you give a refutation to my argument?
Let me think for a second. I think you've risen a pretty interesting argument. It's compelling because I appreciate that you're using the laws of logic. I think a lot of arguments, it's hard to construct a solid viewpoint on something if it's not based on logic. But to be honest with you, I think I would have to really study that. Coming off the hip here would not do it justice. But I think the main point of what I've been trying to say, and I don't even know if this is a refutation, to be honest with you, but even our understanding of what the laws of logic are contingent on the words that are used in the logic and our understanding of those words that are used in the logic. They're assumptions. And so, yes, the laws of logic are good to build a coherent framework and abstraction. They're only very limitedly attached to fundamental reality by their knowledge of them. And so,
could you summarize my argument?
I already responded. I'd
Wait,
have
wait.
to.
Could you wait? Can you summarize it though, or were you not listening for a second time?
Well, you said something about God knows. It had to do with presuppositions, but really, it would be like trying to recite somebody's debate argument.
The word presupposition didn't come out of my mouth a single time. Good try.
Well, I wrote it down here, actually, as you were speaking, and you did say that.
I didn't say presupposition.
Or did you say supposition?
I said proposition.
Proposition. It must be the audio coming through here on TikTok. That's the thing with latency and talking to humans. I mean, you probably have a very interesting perspective in your head. As soon as you encode that into language and try to share it with me, some of that information is lost. So I apologize. That's just
that's fine. But typically, it's like a little bit weird that you would lose all of the information, and then what you ask is not, hey, I didn't get any of that. Can you go through that again? What you say is, well, that's really interesting. I'll have to pontificate that at a later temporal time. I'll need to examine that. But what I really think is quite intriguing is the laws of logic that we've constructed this argument with the laws of logic. Like, does anyone fall for this?
I'm not trying to sway opinion. I was actually complimenting you.
Oh, that's fine, but I just don't. It's weird and it's disingenuous to say that you're gonna think about it later when you caught literally zero part of the argument.
No, I'm not trying to be disingenuous. I would be happy to look into it and provide a compelling response to that. I like shooting off hip.
Do you acknowledge that if the argument is true, then that God doesn't exist? That if all the premises that I've laid out are true, then God doesn't exist?
Absolutely. If my understanding could be perfect of the words that are used in the laws of logic, absolutely. But my understanding of those words can't be perfect because they're abstractions.
Wait, and I'm so sorry. What's the Okay, wait. I'm so sorry. I was just reading something. So, and what's the relevance? Like, how does I'm just confused how saying it's like these are abstractions helps the point in any way.
Because abstractions are a limited representation of the objective object that they're trying to represent. They're a low encoded representation. They're not the full essence of what is being captured. It's like you can describe the color red, but in order to truly understand the color red, you'd have to also describe, well, what isn't red and what actually makes red and what is the true nature of red. We can only build our understanding through associations. And so it's not exact. It's once again asymptotic. It's approaching approaching accuracy, but never fully understanding it completely.
No, you don't. You don't need to know any of the philosophy. You can engage with logic without grounding logic. You can add 2 + 2 = 4 without taking a position on whether mathematical realism is true.
Yes.
You don't need to decide whether
Absolutely.
abstract objects actually exist in
Absolutely.
order to have these basic. I wholeheartedly reject that.
But that exists in an abstract space. If you try to represent an actual reality, you can't perfectly do that.
Yeah, wait, so you can just say that it's embodied, that it's like an embodiment of the forms or whatever.
Yeah, but you can't have a perfect embodiment. That's why we abstract.
Yeah, sure, but one exists as an abstract object, and you don't even need to know that one exists as an abstract object. You don't need to take a position on whether Platonism about mathematics is true or nominalism about mathematics is true. You don't need to take a position on any of this to add 2 + 2 = 4.
Right.
You don't need to take a position on
we
where
recognize that
logic
it's
comes
not
from
possible.
in order to say that contradictions don't exist in reality.
Absolutely. And at that point, I will agree with you. It's not even useful. I recognize it's like Gödel's incompleteness theorem. You can't describe the system from within itself completely. We are within the system, so it's impossible for us to describe it completely. The only way to describe it completely would be if we were on the outside of it. It's like a Klein bottle as well. You can't orient yourself if you're on the surface of the Klein bottle. You have to be on a perspective oriented on the outside of the Klein bottle to tell what is northeast, southwest, inside, and outside.
So are you saying that God exists outside of logic?
I think it's possible that logic is a close representation of God. Yeah, of his intelligence, yes.
So does God exist outside of logic?
Is that an ontological question?
Like a metaphysical question, I guess?
The ontology. Like, do you mean is he not contingent on it?
Because so ontology just refers to being. Metaphysics
nature of being.
refers to like being, and then other stuff. It's like relational. So I'm just asking, relational is God confined by logic? Does God do things that are not logical, or does he have the power to do things that are illogical?
Does he have the power to do things that are illogical? That's a good question. Does he have the power to do things that are? I would say yes, but I feel like I couldn't provide a proper explanation for that, because I feel, like I said earlier, I think the laws of logic are a almost lower representation of maybe even a higher form of intelligence or logic that would come from outside the object, like I said, something that is not asymptotically limited. Although we can't know that or describe that because we are embedded within linear time, within physical matter. But I don't think we would even be talking about logic on that point. It would be so abstract and foreign. I don't even think it's useful to try and describe it.
Can God make a rock that's so heavy he can't lift it?
That's that's a language question. So are you talking about if God was incarnated in a human and was constrained to the laws of physics and had muscles? I think you're misplaying.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The words
So
there.
could God make like a square circle?
I think you could create the illusion that a square looks like a circle by.
Could you make like a literal square circle?
I don't think. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I don't think God exists. That's going to be my answer to anything about God. Is I reject the presupposition that God exists.
Why do you exist then? Do you think it's random?
Well, I think I came from a long chain of evolution.
But it's random, right?
Depending on how you cash those words out. Yeah, like there's randomness. There's elements of randomness led to me being here. So did elements of like determinism. It's both.
So what is randomness?
Randomness is just when it doesn't conform to a deterministic pattern. It's when it's indeterminate.
So you believe in determinism and indeterminism. So compatibilism?
Yeah, I believe in both. No. I guess I just like reject that free will exists. That all the causes are either going to be deterministic or they're going to be indeterministic. Either way, you don't have free will.
So they both exist. It's compatible. They both can exist in some way.
Because compatibilism is between determinism and free will. Indeterminism is not free will.
How do they both exist then?
Because some things are deterministic and other things are indeterministic.
Okay.
So like the wave function collapse is indeterministic. It is literally random whether an electron has an upspin or a downspin.
Well, it's random to our perspective because we're limited.
It is the leading scientific hypotheses, the leading scientific theories on the matter is that it is literally random. It's called the Copenhagen interpretation of quantum
Absolutely,
mechanics.
I'm familiar with it. But
Yeah.
that was composed by a human, right? And I think we can both agree that a human's intelligence is limited and confined to biological compute, their context window, their perspective, their amount of linear time they have to actually research this. I mean, do you think we will learn more if we create a super intelligence? Do you think we'll learn more about how that actually works? Or do you think that's the pinnacle of our understanding?
We'll learn more. However, things can still be chancy.
I believe in
this just
chance.
doesn't make any
I
sense.
believe in chance, but I believe randomness, possibly. I'm not certain about this, but I think it's possible that randomness is the lack of understanding.
Randomness is I wholeheartedly reject this. Randomness, that's just not how the word is defined. Like, it's not random for, I don't know, like a glass plate to fall from the sky. That's not random. It's unexplained, but it's not random.
Yes, we don't understand it.
Yeah, maybe I can just pull up a definition even, because I think that, well, first of all, it's the opposite of your point. So, okay. Made, done, happening, or chosen without method or conscious decision. An unknown. Okay, wait. Yeah. No, that's fine. Oh, okay, wait. So I think this is going to be a better one. Apparent or actual lack of definite pattern or predictability in information. So that when there's no predictability in the pattern, that's when it's considered random.
Right. Lack of understanding doesn't mean it's not possible to potentially understand it, but it's currently.
So what I'm referring to specifically when I describe randomness is ones that have no explanation, that these things are fundamentally random, that it's not like when we learn more about it later, we'll learn more. That's not what the Copenhagen interpretation claims. And if you're familiar with it, you should know that. The Copenhagen
I'm also
interpretation,
familiar with the Newtonian model as well.
Wait. I'm so sorry. Can you summarize the Copenhagen interpretation to us if you're familiar with it?
Well, which one?
Of quantum mechanics.
Well, I can't recite the whole Copenhagen interpretation.
Just a general summary of it,
now.
please. I mean, you did say that you're familiar with it, so can you just give a summary of it?
Which one?
The Copenhagen interpretation.
Well, there's multiple interpretations.
The Copenhagen interpretation, the Copenhagen one.
Maybe it would be better if you pulled up, and so we can
you
go
have
with
no
the
fucking
definition of
idea
it.
what the Copenhagen interpretation is, do you?
What's that?
You have no fucking idea what it is, do you?
I do.
Yeah, then summarize it.
Well,
you can just, if you don't know something, you can just say you don't know it. It's okay.
No, I have no problem. The first time I heard about it was when it was with the Big Bang, and they were trying to figure out. I'm kind of in the sphere here between the Einstein-Rosen-Podolsky paradox, where they're talking about travel faster than light travel, and then that interpretation disproved it because they're like, wait, what if we could make things travel faster than light? But I need to remember which interpretation there. I'd probably mess it up.
Okay, so how did you make claims about the Copenhagen interpretation when you can't give me a single fact about it?
I didn't make a claim. I said I was familiar with it.
Well, so first of all, you said that you're familiar with it, and you said, well, no, they're going to learn more later. Those were your claims.
I think those are both true.
Are you familiar? Wait. Those are true. Prove it.
That we will learn more later?
No, that you'll learn more. That specifically what will be learned later will disprove that there was any randomness there to begin with.
Oh, I would say there's a probability, absolutely. Just through pattern of evolution of our understanding.
Okay, so you would just disagree with the majority of physicists?
That they don't learn?
That there is fundamentally chancy elements that will not be explained by anything else. This is the majority of physicists. You disagree with the majority of physicists on physics.
I will say it's possible that throughout the continuity of humans' existence, it is possible that there's some things that we fundamentally don't figure out.
Wait, so just to be clear, you disagree with the majority of physicists on physics?
I would think some physicists would agree that there might be things we will still learn about physics.
Yeah, so the other physicists, interestingly enough, what the other physicists have to say is that there are chancy elements just in different places, that there's fundamentally still going to be something that is unexplained, foundationally unexplained.
Yes, I agree with that.
There is a probabilistic element. No matter what your interpretation is, they all contain probabilistic elements.
I already said I agree with you.
Oh, gotcha. Wait, so then why are you asking me about an indeterminate thing if you agree that indeterminate things exist?
I never said I don't agree with that.
Then why are you asking me about them?
I asked you what your definition of randomness was.
Yeah, just something that lacks pattern.
Okay. I agree with that as well.
So then why are you asking me about it?
Well, we were talking about God.
Yeah, and then you conceded that you had no response to the argument, and then you led us in this direction. So do you have anything else?
One other question.
Yeah.
This is a very simple one. I'm curious what your perspective is on this. Do you believe that the universe had a beginning, or are you infinite regress?
Infinite regress.
Okay. What makes you believe in that?
The quantum eternity theorem.
So is that compatible with the Big Bang?
Yes. Because the Big Bang just states that our space-time manifold rapidly expanded. It doesn't make any claim as to where the space-time manifold came from in the first place.
Okay, got it. And then and I'm once again agnostic here. Does that mean so it's eventually going to collapse back into?
That's indicated by the dark energy. So expansion of space-time is driven by dark energy expanding space-time. It's going to collapse. Given by the fact that dark energy is getting weaker over time. but I would hold to the model that the universe goes through infinite cycles of rapid expansions and rapid contractions. The space-time manifold that we reside on rapidly expands and then rapidly contracts and then rapidly expands and then rapidly contracts.
Got it. And is that why the universe is moving faster?
Yeah, just that the expansion moves faster than the speed of light.
And then it's eventually going to slow down and then collapse back on itself?
Yep. The thing that drives expansion is dark energy. Dark energy is getting weaker.
Alrighty. That's it. I took up a lot of time, Ian.
Nope,
appreciate
you're
talking
chilling.
to you, brother. Take care.
Yeah, appreciate you coming on up here. All right. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. Let's check out what's going on over here. Okay. Make sure you're dropping that follow as well if you never want to miss a single live in the future. Someone said, I don't know if this is true and verified, but someone said, let me just check it out. Let me check it out. Yeah, whatever. I'm probably gonna end stream, so make sure you're dropping that follow. But if you want to join the community, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. I would truly love to see all of you there. We talk about politics, religion, philosophy. If you want to learn more about debate, you want to learn more about philosophy, you want to learn more about anything, we have like 1,500 members. It's a great place. I'd love to see you there. We do reading clubs. If you want to get into philosophy, but you don't know how, don't know where to start. If you like the way that I debate and you want to learn more, there is a link to the Discord in my bio. Only join if you're 18 or older. We do reading groups every Saturday at 7 p.m. We're finishing a reading that we started last week, so you're still welcome to join. It's only like 20 pages. Someone said that Dean's live, but I don't see that Dean is live. So if somebody knows, you can raid someone. You can raid my Discord, dickhead. I'm kidding. That was mean. I'm kidding. Yeah, you can raid Truly Cosmic Beauty. Truly Cosmic B is the tag. But seriously, join the Discord if you're 18 or older. It's great. It's phenomenal. It's fantastic. Join the Discord. If you don't join the Discord, I'll kill myself. But I love all of you, and I'll see you all tomorrow. All right, bye-bye. Love all of you.